Gideon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One soul. Have pity on those whose chances grow thin. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Yeah, yeah. One love. What about the one? One love. What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm playing to mankind. One love. One love. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. 1, 2, 3, Wake up and live your. Wake up and live. Wake up and live now. Wake up and live. Life is one big road with lots of signs. So when you're riding through the ruts, don't you complicate your mind. Flee from hate, mischief and jealousy. Don't bury your thought, put your vision to reality. Yeah. All together now, wake up and live. Wake up and live. Wake up and wake up and live. Yeah. Wake up and wake up and live. Rise, ye mighty people. Yeah. There's work to be done, so let's do it a little by a little. Rise from your sleepless slumber. Yes, 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 yes. We're more than sand and the seashore. We're more than numbers. All together now. Wake
can make a change. We can make a change. Come together. Whoa, yeah. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Well, now I shall tell of my story, 'cause this story has been lies, yeah.
live on forever. And love one another. Oh yeah. Living and loving and sharing and oh yeah.
morning and welcome to the Morning Connection, coming to you from the cool studios of Bess100 FM in Kingston, Jamaica. This is your host, Minett Lawrence, wishing you the best Monday possible as we move into this new week of work and activity. I should say work and worship, because that is our main activity, to honor our Creator by the works of our hands and the love that we show to each other. So let me show some love to those who are joining us on air. God bless you for making it Bess100 FM this morning. Those who have joined us online, especially those in what used to be the mother country, in the former mother country. You know, it was big news this weekend that the committee that has been put together to look at constitutional reform have already come to an agreement that they will recommend the move to a republic. Many are saying, what kind of republic? But isn't that the second question? The first question is that they have all come to a consensus that that's where we're going. So bye-bye, King Charles. Is that a good note on which to take the 6:30 break? All right. See you when you return.
He's coming back.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call it, cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Walton Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Bess100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back. What a delight it is to be alive and well in the country at this time. Not that we would know otherwise. I kind of love that gallows humor myself. But it's just to say that for those of us who remain above ground, we must find and take great pleasure in being present and accounted for, because the very fact that we're here means there is some valuable contribution that we can make, that there is purpose remaining in us. And that's how I want to start the morning, because if you are in that place of wondering, why am I here? Or even, why are certain things happening in my life? You, being Jamaican, would have no doubt being raised on a diet of some religious foundational principles. You may have heard, whether it is from your own parents or from grandparents or just in the community around you. I don't think there's a single community in Jamaica of whatever income level that is not within spitting distance of a church. So at some point you would be hearing that there are promises from a divine creator concerning all his children in this realm. And you must be wondering, so where do I fit in? I certainly can recall my own early days of reading the Bible and getting a sense, having some sense of geography, and wondering if these chosen people excluded me, and if God was in the business of choosing people to give them priority attention. How on earth could he not choose people that look like me? I mean, I had that kind of confidence from early on, that if there was a tribe chosen to be the representative of God's favor, love, knowledge, attention to mankind, that surely I would be in it. So if, like me, you are asking those questions and wondering why, if there is a system that ranks people, how could I not be in the highest ranked group? And if you're not asking yourself that, you should ask yourself, why am I not asking myself that? Because you must begin by having your own intrinsic value, recognizing your own intrinsic value. You have to take stock of who you are, what you look like, the potential that is within you, and come to the conclusion by yourself, not based on what mommy said or daddy said or the neighbor said, but by yourself. You must come to a conclusion about yourself, that you are a person of value, of worth, of enormous potential. I don't find it hard to believe that Jamaicans generally feel that way. No matter where you land in this life, if there's a problem being analyzed and solutions being hunted, and you have a Jamaican in the mix, they're going to say, no man, you can't do it this way. And no matter how technical the problem might be, how intellectual you might have to be in order to really study it, the average Jamaican from any walk of life gonna look at that situation and tell you, say, you could do it this way, even if it's rubbish. They have an idea, and they see themselves as having the capability to solve the issues of life. And as you study more and move amongst different kinds of people, you realize that it is so for the man in the yard or the man at the side of the road, and it is pretty much the same for the businessman who has had years of experience, the businessman who has studied, or, the professional managers. And it is so for the politicians, for the doctors, for the lawyers. That is one of the things that I have noticed about Jamaicans. I speak to even my own mom, and I hope she's listening so I can say, good morning, mommy. I speak to my own mom, and if I'm discussing a legal issue, or it really don't matter what I am discussing, my mother has an opinion on how you can approach it. So if you grew up in recognizing those things about yourself and about the people around you, then it is right and fitting that you should be thinking, why am I here? And if I am here, if God has seen it fit to keep me here all these years of my life, what is my purpose? What is it that He felt that uniquely I can do? We want each person to approach the day with that mindset, and every situation that you find yourself getting into, whether it's a conversation or it's to do a task, and whether you're doing it by yourself or you're doing it with others, to see it as an opportunity to make a real contribution. And if someone asks you a question, how can I, or, anyone seeking information and guidance from you, for you to be very intentional in giving them a truly useful response. The person who come and say, I'm trying to, can I get this right? And you could easily say to them, well, how far did you get? How did you get to wherever you are? But you choose to say to them instead, man, you have to go figure that out by yourself, Or, boy, me usually have a problem with it too, and that's it. The two of you are stuck at that point. Instead of giving one of the stock responses that you could give just to get people away from you, step into the situation with enthusiasm and say, you know what, let's figure it out together. How far did you get? You may discover that person, it didn't get as far as you did. So you can at least help them up to where you are. Or the both of you may have got to the same point, but their level of knowledge and your level of knowledge, when combined, can push you, both of you, forward. I'm starting in that place because as we acknowledge that the committee considering constitutional reform has achieved consensus on what for us was the starting point, all Jamaicans who have been tracking this issue have been grappling with the king or no king, because that the first point was it's time for us to be truly independent of the colonial ties that were the hallmark of our time of enslavement and oppression. It's just undignified to be talking about King's Council and God save the king, and sure, God can save the king, but not because we want him to be involved in our affairs, and he really isn't even in our affairs. Last week I was commenting on Attorney at Law Maurice Tomlinson making the point that the Privy Council, as the highest court of the land, has proved inaccessible, unaffordable to the average person. And he's not the average person. He's a lawyer who could prepare the docket. He can save himself quite a bit of the expense involved in mounting a case before the Privy Council. So he's not the average lawyer. Yet he found it challenging and had to give up his right of appeal. Do you know what it feels like to believe that there may be some justice for you down the corner, but you can't afford to get there? Now, whatever you may think about the justice he's pursuing, justice is blind. Justice not having any feelings about whether the issues concerning publication of material supporting the rights of a particular community, whether that is morally appealing or not. Because justice is very much concerned about process. Yes, we speak a lot about not allowing form to overtake substance, but justice has a great deal invested in maintaining form. So for a court to be meaningful, it must be accessible and affordable. If not, there is no justice. So at least every person who has to put down the flag or lay down arms because they simply can't afford to go farther with an issue has been denied justice. And it don't matter where you think it was going to go. Each individual is fully entitled to take the fight as far as the road permits. The road in Jamaican case permits a resort to the Privy Council. And we see all kinds of people going to the Privy Council and coming back with their results. I mean, I can even think of the case with YP Seaton that ran for so many years. And in the end, the place which gave him the return of his money was the same Privy Council. He could afford to do that. And this is where man will lose his dignity, when you cannot do something because you can't afford it. You know, in situations when it pertains to health, we can see that very easily. There's a medical crisis, a child needs a procedure which the parents cannot afford, an appeal is made. You see that happening all the time. And I'm sure for each person who makes a contribution or who can't afford to make a contribution, you come face to face with the stark reality that if that were my child, I could not afford to put them on a plane, keep them in a hospital overseas for however many weeks. That beautiful young lady who has returned from getting treatment for the severe burns that she endured in the house fire. She would not be were it not for the resources being made available to get her the help that she needed. And, you know, you have to thank God every time you see something happen, something of that magnitude, and you know within yourself that if it happened to me or mine, I couldn't afford it. Many persons have died because they could not afford the resources to get the kind of help they needed. Last week, we were talking about the absence of MRI machines in our public health system. One caller was explaining to me how long it took for him to just have a scan done. Now, the scan is not therapeutic, you know. It is only diagnostic. It's not going to reduce the pain that you're feeling. Yet, before you can get the right treatment, you must wait. I think he said he waited 3 months to get a schedule, and he was seeking to pay. He wasn't trying to hide from paying, but just to be on the schedule because the resources are so limited. So it's a very, very real issue, or having the ability to access these things which are a part of our birthright. When the committee reports, or the report coming out of the committee, because I don't even know if that was the committee's report, the report coming out of the committee that they've enjoyed great consensus on this one fundamental point, that we will see the end of the monarchy. I pray that whatever it is they're doing, it would boost our confidence and in even their own work greatly if what they did was to find a way to get to that decision-making point early o'clock, get that out of the way, so that even when we are sitting to define the fullness of the Constitution, we're doing it as a republic. Because, you know, everything starts small. And as the producer is determined for me to say, not a banana republic, though he eats a lot of bananas, so I'm not sure why you like ripe bananas. They don't have to. Good morning, Pastor Percival. I'm getting an angelic smile from the corner, because those who are watching us online would have seen that Percy is not beside me. And those who are listening have not heard his voice. Said, come on in, Percy. Just don't make a lot of noise. You know, you're welcome here. I said, I should be saying, ladies and gentlemen, Percival Palmer. Yes, Percy is here. The other half of what makes this show work. Ready to say morning? Good morning. Yeah, listen, man, I heard the news and we should say as you are getting set up, Percy, I'm just going to break my flow to express condolences to the people of Jamaica and the friends and family of, which one is it? I just called it Bello and Blacka. So now, yeah, who was also a man of faith and had his own, Bell. Yeah, but, you know, there have been some famous duos in, I guess, pop culture history. And I know, like you have, now they're famous and the names escape. Is it Michigan and Smiley?
Mm-hmm.
Sly and Robbie?
Yes, right.
Bello and Blacka?
Yeah, Bello and Blacka. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I remember there was the duo that does film reviews in America. They give it the thumbs up. Mm-hmm. Something. It's good that I forget the American ones. I need to know my Jamaican stories better than I know American stories. But yeah, the loss of this great artistic talent, even though I believe the church had claimed him. So arts and culture had lost him already, because once the Spirit of God, once the Spirit of God claim you, before he became a comedian. Yes, no. So I was saying that the producer is. Why you don't just get on the microphone so I don't have to repeat what you're saying? Oh, okay, well then stop speaking to me so distractingly. No, don't do it distractingly. There he is, masterful thespian, caring clergyman. Yeah, Winston. So, of course, when the saints go home, heaven rejoice.
Marching in.
Yeah, well, heaven rejoice. So, you know, we don't mourn as those who have no hope, but we know that the loss of a loved one has its own pain.
Okay.
Though yesterday, Pastor Lowell preached. Mm-hmm. And amongst the things he said that certainly caught my attention, he spoke about the loss of his mom.
Okay.
That when his mom passed away, there was the sadness, but there was what did you say, Lowell?
Let
me speak to you distractingly.
the joy of knowing that she had run a wonderful race and she had a beautiful legacy in the children that she taught.
Thank you for visiting the service.
No, but I know.
You're anticipating?
No, I'm just telling you based on the impressions he shared with me about his mom and who she was and what she did. Yeah. And so I was at a funeral, on 2 funerals back to back, one Thursday, one Friday at church. Mm-hmm. One was a young man, was 21, and the church was... It was in the news. They've been
very sad.
No, sir.
Oh, they were joyful?
We were happy because of his impact. He was 21, but he was a full-time student at UA, and he had a full-time job.
Whoa.
And
he wasn't really 21. That sounded like he was 91.
Yes. That's Kareem Medley. He was a part of our youth fellowship for many years, and so the youth...
What do you mean many years when he was 21?
Yes, man.
He was 91.
Many years, because he came when he was about 13, 14, so many years. He died when he was 21.
That's still not even
17
many,
years. But I think of many. Anything past 5 is many years, because you don't see. But he was a very integral part and a caring person, and it came out in the different tributes that came. One of his friends who is overseas on scholarship, he was just sharing, he was crying. He said, boy, that man would look out for him, just check up on him. And a lot of the young people who are part of a youth fellowship, or no, young adults, were just sharing about it. And the day before, Nyla, 7-year-old, we did the funeral for her too. She died of cancer. He hosted it, and it went. She had cancer, but you never knew in terms of the impact she had on her family.
7 years old.
Yes, so 7 and 21. But it was thing, right? And then Friday again we have another funeral. But wow, it's that time.
I have a confession to make. I'm only looking. That's not a confession. That's just an obvious reality.
That's a statement.
Obvious reality.
Oh my God.
No, I started off speaking this morning, and I was looking at what it means in a nation for people to find it difficult to access to justice, medical care, and so on. But listen, and I was still thinking about Mr. Tomlinson from last week. But these are things on our mind. I'm looking at the Sunday Gleaner, and I'm seeing pensioner unable to do surgery because of 10-year dispute with Scotiabank over multi-million-dollar account. Now, I was talking about poor people, and not ones who have multi-million-dollar accounts, but just the inability to achieve these things. And another headline was, I sat there with my dead baby in my hand. There are some things happening. This is a story now, Black River Hospital. There are some things happening across the country, greatly, greatly affecting people's enjoyment of certain basic rights. And we've got to get involved. We have to get involved and treat it as matters of great importance. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was speaking about a near relation of mine whose child died within hours of birth at a hospital in Portland.
Yes, you're
Portland.
talking about that, yeah.
And I mean, before the body was cold, she was being given papers to sign to permit the hospital to dispose of the remains of the child, and offering absolutely no word on why the child died. I have since discovered that it's the policy in some of our hospitals, the hospitals that serve poor people, the policy, I don't know why I say poor people, the hospitals that serve Jamaicans.
Yes.
The policy is not to inquire into the cause of death for newborns. If you want to know why your child died, you need to do a private postmortem at your expense. And these things are just shocking to me, that we don't, as a routine
system of justice.
Sure, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It is a travesty of justice. It's an injustice to treat the concerns of citizens.
Why did my child die?
Me must know. Oh, me must know.
And
meaning
it is too...
the medical details of it. You know that, okay, so we are spiritual people who understand that life and death is in the hand of God. So we know that if whatever the natural causes however they might manifest, ultimately your child could survive if God so ordained it. So we know that ultimately. But understanding in the natural realm why is a very important part of our being able to solve problems and to be our brother's keeper. When we discovered from the report on the condition of the hospitals, was it Pa who did the report after the many dead babies? We discovered that it's because the hospital dirty. Basically.
You said the hospital is dirty. The hospital dirty. Jamaicans would say unfortunate.
Unclean.
But, yes. And
unclean.
And then you hear, no, we're going to start cleaning it up. But those are basic things. Care, because clean is the great gateway to go to healthcare, because we took it for granted that they say wash your hands, and so remember wash your hands came back with COVID.
Yes.
Which was a basic thing.
Yeah, COVID was all about a return to basic good hygiene.
Yeah, so
don't cough on people. Maintain some social distance so you're not spitting all over people as you speak.
Yes,
that was just basic hygiene.
And see it not being practiced, because if you go into a lot of the hospitals and because of some of the things I do, you have to some of the times take people to the public hospital or go and visit people there. When you see it, going, okay.
Now listen to the reason why this child, what had transpired with this child, a young woman and her baby, 29 years old, her second child. She had baby, was discharged from the hospital it was on the weekend, so she was not seen. The baby was not seen by a doctor, a pediatric doctor. So really, while the baby didn't die in the care of the hospital, she went home with the baby, and she is wondering, would her baby have been alive today if the rule that was implemented after she was discharged, because after they realized babies live here not having been seen by a doctor, we don't know if the baby was okay. Which tells you too that though midwifery is an excellent trade, and God bless those who are there to be of assistance to the women in their time of need, but pediatrics has value.
Okay.
And once the child is out in the world and can be seen by a doctor who is trained to recognize what's going on with these newborns, then that is a necessity before you send the women home with the babies.
Because there are some checks you do, because I remember it well, birth of Daniel, I was there for all of them. They have a count that they do at born.
The Apgar.
Yes.
Apgar, yeah.
Check up.
Yeah.
Quick check to see that those things are.
So it's not to say that, the child would have necessarily survived, but at least you would have done the right things. And this is where the call for justice comes in, and the call for a more righteous relationship between citizens and between citizens and state agencies to do right by each other, making sure that the newborn was examined by the right trained person is critical. Well, now they're doing it, but a mother is left asking, would it be so if they had done it earlier? It's time for our 7 o'clock break. I see some signs from across the way. All right, we'll be right back.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
The Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce is moving forward with measures to make it easier for small-scale cannabis growers to enter the formal industry. We have the details coming up. I am Jermalee Nelson. Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, says steps are being taken to make doing business within the medicinal cannabis industry easier. Under the International Narcotic Control Board, INCB, the government will seek to ensure that the Jamaican market can produce all the medicinal cannabis products that the country needs. This, the minister says, will eliminate the need for the country to import any cannabis for medicinal purposes.
We will continue, of course, to keep in line with our treaty obligations. We're going to tighten the arrangements we have. One of the things we have to do is to make sure Staten work with us to arrive at what the market size is, because that's a very important feature of the INCB with which we're working to make sure we stay in line.
Minister Hill was speaking during a press conference at Jamaica House recently. He notes that discussions are currently underway to develop a strategy to treat with traditional and small-scale cannabis growers and legalize their operations. This will include a look at some of the fees charged by the Cannabis Licensing Authority, the CLA. The aim is to incentivize more persons to join the industry.
It doesn't make sense right now when people don't have the cash flow to buy the basic stuff, to even hire people, that we're going to say, okay, pay another $3,000, the Jamaican dollar, as our official currency. So we want to change that too. Right now, for the first 2 years, while you're planting and trying to get some money together and grow your 5 plants or how many plants you're going to grow, we're not going to charge you any fees for that. Those things we're looking at and making sure the government can switch around what now is a disincentive into removing it and making it much easier for people to come in.
Senator Hill noted, however, that the matter must first go to Cabinet for deliberation and consideration.
It's a position that I'm going to take, and that should probably last for a period of 5 years. What do I mean? That rule should be in for 5 years, but when you come in, whether you come in day 1 or the last day of the 5th year, you will get a 2-year period over which you get a chance to build your business without these fees. So those are some of the places that we're going.
Meanwhile, under the CLA's Alternative Development Program, steps are also being taken to prevent and eliminate the illicit cultivation of ganja and channel the process through legal streams.
We've done a rough pilot before. We've learned some things from it, but we're going back to Cabinet to have about 16 communities involved, including about 128 farmers. These are small-scale and traditional farmers. We're looking at the communities cultivating up to 10 acres now.
Minister Hill also addressed the issue of exporting medicinal cannabis to other countries, adding that the ministry is exploring the possibility of more trade missions to open up new markets for the local cannabis industry.
We can't sit here and wait for markets to come. Germany has just changed its rule. It's time maybe for us to go and look, but I don't want to go and look alone. I want to make sure people are in the business. If we're going, come with me and say, yes, this is what we're looking at, and they learn from it and bring it back to us. So we'll have to go and find markets for our product. But also we have to make arrangements in Jamaica. Within the law, how do we make our market space in Jamaica more accommodating and more able for people to do a business?
Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill. And that's where we wrap this feature. Thank you for listening. I am Jermalee Nelson.
At MOJ, Ministry of Justice, come access quality service to keep order within the nation. We facilitate good relation. Legal aid to your pocket. A little is child diversion for you to need expertise. Victim service we help you cope with grief. Restorative justice, build back the peace. No matter where you come from, how we say justice for all Jamaicans. MOJ, Ministry of Justice, come access quality service.
MOJ, taking justice to the people of Jamaica.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
He's coming back.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing firm.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-Time Taxi Service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Need a cab from anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time on shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try and call cause trust me.
Voiceless Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Walton Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Bess100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning. We were just referring to the justice issues, and in coming down, I told you why I'm. Do apologize to the persons for joining you late this morning, but we had to do some business.
No apologies required,
Some
especially
business.
when you told me the business you were doing.
Yes.
Him and the Holy Spirit. You are never late, my brother. This is your assignment. It starts when you're here.
Okay.
How is that?
But we were just looking at the whole justice with what's happening in the hospitals on the weekend. But what we see happening, this is my own personal take on it. A lot of the things that we see happening in health and in other areas of our economy, the root of it is justice. If you think that, why would we not be utilizing the resources that we have in the right way so that there are not really two Jamaicas in terms of what happens in too many areas of our society. The lady complaining. Well, yesterday's paper, the guy was saying, heartless. What's happening? The lady at Black River. And then the grand announcement that came out of the Constitutional Reform Committee. Oh, we have agreed that Republic. I thought we're way past that. And I'm saying...
No, but you have to look behind it now. It's not so much the consensus. It's all the comments that were made about how they're working together. Because remember, Jamaicans came out in almost one voice that too many lawyers are on the team. The co-chair of the team is under great pressure, and I really think he should resign.
I mean, Mr. Albert, who says that?
Yes.
And that's the Green editorial.
He cannot want the job so much that he would stay there against vocal opposition to something which he may well think is irrelevant. That he is pro this or pro that, he may think it's irrelevant. But you can't want to serve a hostile or an unwilling
and the Gleaner,
audience.
And the Gleaner needs to be very, very careful in terms of their editorial. Because they make an...
Why do they need to be careful? It's their editorial.
Yeah, but they need to be...
And they are the Gleaner.
The Jamaica umbrella group of churches is not mainly Pentecostal or other fundamentalists.
The recent addition to the group.
Yeah, the Jamaica umbrella group of churches.
No, not that. I mean, a representative of the Jamaica umbrella group has been added to the committee.
Yeah, because...
And now you're speaking to who they really are.
Yeah, because the umbrella group of churches consists of Evangelical Alliance, JCC, Adventist.
This is the Jamaica
Council of Churches.
Because that could be Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, true. But the Jamaica JCC is the mainline churches, which is the Baptist, the Methodist.
We're calling them mainline when we really mean they are the traditional ones,
churches,
the old ones, the first ones
right.
Here. Oh, because that don't make them mainline.
Not anymore, because the Seventh-day Adventists, right? Yes. The evangelical churches, the newer churches, which would be the Pentecostal. So it's a broad-based grouping of all churches in Jamaica.
How has the editorial misled persons?
Because it's a certain line, and I've watched it with the Gleaner. Was one of them, he says, with the appointment of Dr. McCarthy, the president of the Jamaica umbrella group of churches, whose members are mainly Pentecostal and other fundamentalists. So that means Jamaica Council of Churches, which consists of, like the Anglican Church. I remember last week, Thursday, we were referring to the fact that the bishop for the Caribbean, you remember you wanted, not the West Indies, the Caribbean, came out and says, hold on, no. What the government and what people are doing in terms of attacking the Integrity Commission is wrong, and his call was for Christians across the spectrum to say no and to get rid of the party politics and go after the principle. Why do we have an Integrity Commission, and why is it that they're important? Because corruption is a major concern for every single Jamaican, along with crime and violence. That's there. And then now, he goes further to say, which I know Dr. Bailey, who is from the Jamaica Evangelical Alliance and Cause, the anti-foreigner bigotry was echoed by Philippa Davis. Those are very emotive words, you know.
It is the editorial.
It's the editorial.
Yes. It's the editor's commentary.
Yeah.
And the words are oftentimes emotive, sometimes misplaced emotion, but that's the nature of the editorial.
Yes.
You don't agree with the sentiments expressed. We're going to go through it. I want to do justice to young Miss Akira.
The baby.
The baby, yes, because...
baby Akira, because she was.
Yeah, she existed, yeah. So, to give a fair representation of what transpired. We certainly applaud the Black River Hospital for making a change in their procedure
and
policy, which could well prevent the recurrence of a situation like this, or at the very least would satisfy persons receiving care at that hospital that they are giving you the best attention that they can. This young mother was discharged from the hospital with her newborn. Before her discharge, she noticed that the baby had some issues breathing. A doctor looked at the child, recommended a nose drop, which she was unable to purchase because she was leaving the hospital on a Sunday, and it being, I guess, Black River and the hospital, no pharmacy was open. So care was recommended that she couldn't get the pharmacy. Now, there is a world in which pharmacies in a hospital are not privately owned. As long as the hospital is open, pharmacological supplies are available for the needs of patients in the hospital. You don't have to go outside and go around to the pharmacy at the back. I have noticed a trend in how we set up things. I don't know whether it's because we are constantly trying to give opportunities, commercial opportunities to friends and family, or what. But I have noticed we are outsourcing some critical components of service that make no sense. You cannot be in a hospital at medicine is required for a newborn, but the mother need to go and get it at a pharmacy. And it's the same thing Fortis, it's the same kind of problem that Fortis was referring to with the MRI services. You're in a hospital, you need a diagnostic tool, but it is only available through a private service. Minister Tufton, as popular as you are, and no doubt with every kind of ambition, we have to do better by our people. No doctor should say, get this for your newborn, but you need to go find a pharmacy that is open.
But to my own mind, having every public hospital, there's a pharmacy there. Whether it is stocked or not is another question. So that is the real challenge. And I think with the National Health Fund, which was created years ago, a lot of our
but then you hear that this not available. I mean, I've heard the stories with
some of the drugs.
And again, it's from overtaking substance because, as you say, everyone have a pharmacy, but whether it is stocked or not,
or the drugs are available.
So that was the first challenge for this young mother. The doctor looked at the child, saw that something was needed, did a prescription or recommended something which she couldn't get because the place wasn't open. Anyway, so she took home the baby, and in short order, she was back at the hospital. So the baby did not die at home. The baby died in the hospital, receiving care. So the baby developed the same breathing difficulties or similar breathing difficulties whilst at home. And she rushed back to the emergency care at the hospital. The baby was taken from her. And here comes another part of the experience that is troubling. They're gone with the baby and she's outside. She said, everybody who come out, she said, we're going with my baby. No lack of communication. And she's excluded from whatever is happening with the baby. By the time she gets to see the child is not breathing. It's lying on a bed and people are milling around. And she asked a question, how long? She stopped breathing and nobody could tell her. See? And then the hospital is saying, well, the baby didn't see a pediatrician, nor was she examined by a nurse before being discharged at birth.
So was it doc? But didn't that doctor...
but not a pediatrician.
Yeah, but...
So there was a doctor and a midwife team that examined the baby. So they do have, she said, on discharge, the baby was reviewed by a midwife and team on the maternity ward, and vital signs were normal. And they have their documents to show. But the mother is explaining that a doctor did see the baby. She said she called a doctor while in the hospital. She called a doctor and said, "Doc, I don't like how my baby sound." He came, he put his ears over the baby's nose, and he turned to me and said, "I can get a nose drop at the pharmacy." And he discharged me, she said.
The pharmacy.
But she did not get to buy the nose drop because there was no pharmacy open on Sunday.
Okay. So the pharmacy that is, because that's why I know.
There's usually a pharmacy at hospitals. I know that because it's a great business opportunity.
No, but I'm
some
talking
of them I
drugs.
see are not. They are commercial. The pharmacy, the one you're talking about, government pharmacy.
Drug service in most hospitals, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, in the aftermath of the baby's death, a policy change was introduced at the hospital where babies have to be seen by a pediatrician before the actual discharge, and it makes sense. It does make sense.
But it would make sense because with the recent things you now have on your government establishment all these positions, so you should have sufficient doctors to go around. You think? I think so.
Yeah.
It's
how tragic.
It's kind of tragic.
Yeah.
Very, very tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, when these will people get out.
But we there's something we need to look at with greater details, because this cry for justice starts very early on, and I noticed that it is linked with the value we place on ourselves and on our children
and on human life.
I noticed that. And this morning, Percy, I was saying that individuals ought to do some reflection, look at yourself and just do evaluation of your own self. Recognize the potential that is within you, and you place yourself in the high value which you deserve.
Mm-hmm.
Really see yourself as being amongst God's chosen people, special people, made for purpose.
And that's a shift in mindset.
Yeah, don't be deterred. Don't consider that others might not count you for much. Just know that there is something that only you can do, and you must show yourself willing to do it. And then let the thing take shape from there. This lady with her baby, she said, even the thought that they would just leave the baby on the bed, and when she come back to the hospital, it had already become something to be disposed of.
What?
Well, I told you what happened with my near relation.
No, but they're going to have to do it. So they can't dispose of the body because they have to do a proper autopsy. In terms
she will be doing that at her expense.
I don't think so.
Wow. The chief executive officer of the hospital said she cannot confirm what killed Akira because the police had an interest in the body. But she said the baby is noted in the records of accident and emergency as death on arrival. So the hospital has it that she brought in the baby dead.
That's what that means, right?
Yeah. Yes, death on arrival. But it becomes kind of the mother's evidence is she took the baby there alive and struggling. Given that the child, in the story it says, given that the child was only pronounced dead at the hospital, protocol required the police to be informed for them to rule out any foul play through a post-mortem, after which the family would be allowed to take the body.
It's been going on for weeks.
And they say congenital pneumonia is listed as the cause of death.
Well, that's February 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And it just making okay.
Yeah.
That was a recent thing.
Oh.
February 27th?
Yeah. Well, it's recent to the mother, it feel like yesterday. Wow. And then now,
money for life.
Yes, to what we were I tell you this, I did not read the story before I opened my comments, because I was also talking about citizens being able to afford to pursue justice in the courts.
It was done in Kingston.
The post-mortem?
Yes.
Yeah. So the mother is struggling to accept what seems to be the medical report that the child had an infection at birth. She says nobody told her about any infection and nobody treated her for an infection. So why is that in my docket? So clearly more information is needed, and for her to pursue it to the full extent, she would need now persons representing her interests. So either she needs money to do it, or there should be available through non-profit organizations that understand that these issues have to be litigated so that one, the wrongdoers can learn, and two, citizens can be more informed. Someone would need to step forward and advocate for the rights of this child.
Because when she says, "But nobody never tell me say me had the infection and the baby had the infection."
Oh boy.
It is.
She don't have any money to put a lawyer on it. She's currently unemployed, and
is it justice that
she has to contemplate legal advice.
Yeah.
All right. So what's my appeal this morning? Those with the legal know-how,
please.
Those who have a heart for justice, just understand that there is a gap in how we treat with some of these issues, and it does need specialized intervention and skill to bring us up to the right level of attention. I was speaking with I think it was we had a guest on, one of our Thursday guests, and I was having conversations with them off air concerning how certain things having to do with the rights of children are addressed in the school system in the USA. And
I remember that,
somehow I remember we had a conversation about the provision of advocates who state assigned, paid by the state, if a child is in that foster home, children in foster home, there are advocates provided, accessible to them based on a certain ratio, so that someone will stand in the gap for them. You don't have mother, father, you don't have money to hire lawyers and so on. But if you have certain issues that need to be addressed, and you, in your whatever condition you might be in, can't do it, not only that, should not do it. Because when a child tries to speak to an adult and protest for better treatment, the adult, it can get abusive. So it's not even right or fit that you should be advocating for yourself on certain issues. You should have someone. This is also scriptural. That's why we have an advocate and a high priest who goes into high and important places to speak for us. The same is required on earth. The newborns that are dying like flies now, one would almost say, need an advocate. Think about it when we come back. 7:30 a.m. Let's take our break.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters ought to have them.
Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
You know, welcome back. As I was just reflecting as we talk about the article where there's a shortage of healthcare persons.
Yes, they're one professional, medical professional with knowledge and experience says we have an overall shortage of every kind of healthcare person.
In this
professional,
country.
every kind. Not enough nurses, not enough doctors, not enough pediatricians, not enough specialists. Well, specialists are rare in the first instance, and they're still not enough. So even, and then looking at the ranking of the hospitals, which is another, the type C and the where Black River is the lowest type. You don't want the lowest designated type of healthcare facility in your parish.
In Black River, you only have Black River Hospital, no?
It is the lowest type.
Yeah,
that's just a fancy clinic.
Yeah, but because you have
there's a scripture that talk about the brook that don't give refreshment. So can you imagine you're going to the hospital thinking you're getting medical care, only to realize that you could just as well just lean up at the shop and let somebody stick a bandage on it.
Really? Extreme.
Yes, I tend to be dramatic.
Look at it.
No, but you see, I go hospital. When you hear hospital, you think that it have what you need. Not true.
Yes.
Especially if you're taken there in an ambulance.
Oh, yeah. True.
Only to discover that it really
That's
just...
But there are a lot of people who have worked in healthcare says that a lot of things that get to hospitals really shouldn't be there. You should have a good primary health system that you take the burden of.
Preventative.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they say we're shifting. But because remember, and there was the other thing up in Trelawney and Spalding where there's a government private public sector partnership in renovating, and this person invested so much
$1 million. Oh, that's in
where that was it? Close to the place
Clarendon.
where you were working.
Yeah, Clarendon.
Yeah, when they were saying. But my point is so Corner region come back in focus. in terms of.
But let me ask you this, Percy.
What has happened with that?
But let me ask you this, because delivering babies, that's not, I don't know what they call that, if that is a primary care or a basic secondary care. But babies are born all over the island without
because you'd have
with
the midwife in the local midwife.
So basically what we're saying is that all right, so Black River Hospital is a type C institution, the lowest designation for a government hospital. Those institutions have between 60 and 95 beds. So the first thing is they're small, and they provide primary care services and basic secondary care services. I don't know what that means. They have fewer specialists on staff and therefore limited inpatient and outpatient services. But babies, the receiving of babies in a medical facility, I would assume even a type C institution should be well set for that.
True.
And should have a system in place to move the babies swiftly somewhere else where
Move
they can
from
get,
Black River to Mandeville
or to Bustamante Children's Hospital, since that is our premier
Children's Hospital. They go to Mandeville first, and then if things, then they go to
So there must be a system in place for that, and at least basic technology and know-how to keep the child alive until it gets to the next place.
True.
No matter what kind of, whether you're type A, B, C, you must be able to sustain life until specialized care is available. What the lady described, whatever type you are, I pray that don't happen to a second person, because that has nothing to do with the type of hospital you are. She arrived at the hospital's accident and emergency department, where a doctor reportedly took the baby after several appeals for help. She stayed in the waiting area for a good while. Everybody come out and me ask, what go on with my baby? Nobody answered me. Okay? I sat there patiently waiting and hoping and praying to God for just make my baby all right. Hours later, she said a nurse took her into a room where other officials were already there. She saw baby Akira on a bed. She said, my baby now breathe? Nobody answered. So I went and I put my finger underneath the baby's nose. I realized my baby now breathe. So I say, how long now since my baby stopped breathe? Nobody answered me. Morgan said, baby Akira was dead. When I read that to you, does that cause you to be thinking about the hospital not having the facility to do this or that? That just sounds like people were uncaring, bungled the thing, not said nothing to her, and she basically has no idea what transpired from the time a doctor took the baby to the moment when she goes and sees the dead baby.
Yeah, because it seemed like it's some time
hours later.
And
so
she
that
kept
baby,
asking.
I don't know that nobody said, well, we needed to move the baby to thing and we're waiting on the ambulance, or the baby wasn't breathing, we had to intubate her and give her oxygen, or no such thing. And from the sound of things, it's not like she found the baby looking like someone had been treating her.
Or they were treating her, but then they gave up.
No, but you put in, if the baby not breathing, then there would be some clearing of the passage and giving of oxygen, or you would look, you could see evidence of some.
And when you think about it, there are deeper issues here, because if somebody take a baby from you, and I've seen it happen.
Well, first, me want to know who going to take my baby and walk away.
No, you go to, as I say, mommy, hold on, we're trying to see what we can do. But nobody not talking to her and communicating, say, nurse come out and say, the doctor try so what him can do or something like that. Yeah,
it's the lack of care.
Yeah, just say.
And that's what we need to address. Because if you begin to show care, then better effort will be made to have tools and personnel. And listen, man, if you're out in the jungle and snake bite you and there's nothing around, you might be right a mile away, might be the best hospital in the world. If it's not there, it's not there.
And so
But at least your friend could, try to suck out the venom.
Suck out this venom and what they are cut it out, as we see in movies. Or I take the knife and say, all right, hold it, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt.
Let's cut it off here. But, just imagine if you survive that, you will always remember that somebody was not prepared to go to the mat for you.
Yeah. And because this is what she's reporting. And I'm saying, Doctor, look at my baby. I'm wondering how many persons were there in the hospital. Because what normally happens, which is what I've observed, having been in, if somebody comes in with a child, they move and say, no, let's deal with the baby. That's what I have observed, having been in the public hospital system with different things. And I'm saying that they jump. Daddy, what's happening? Let us see what we can do. And
yes, yeah.
So I don't know what happened there. Because you're not getting anything, and then he says baby dead on birth. But obviously when she carried in her child, the baby was not dead, was he?
No.
She was not dead, because she said...
She must know.
She go check and say, she was the medical show.
I put her feet, yes. But understand that the first person who takes the baby, a doctor took the baby. The doctor wouldn't take a dead baby from her. The minute the doctor realized that would have shifted to another thing. And it wouldn't take so long. I mean, she said it was hours. Next thing you know, they must say it's 5 minutes. But to her, it seemed like hours. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think...
So there's something with the Minister of Health coming out and talking about,
No, this now, the headline Heartless is upon or just... drawing our attention to the need for cardiac facilities at Bustamante. Now, remember that? Not Shaggy.
And they must say you must use the money feet and them seminar do that.
Yes. Shaggy wanted ICU beds and they wanted some other facility. Well, now it appears that a doctor is saying that the hospital board is prioritizing parents' overnight suite, the construction of facilities for parents to stay overnight. They're putting a greater priority on that than they should on putting in the cardiac ward so that more children with needing heart surgery could be addressed. He says there is a waiting list of over 150 children requiring surgery, and the delay in building the cardiac ward is regrettable. The headline says that the minister is not convinced. Dr. Sherrod Little, consultant cardiothoracic surgeon and clinical director at the Bustamante Hospital, feels that the government's decision to push back indefinitely the construction of a cardiac ward at the island's sole children's hospital has placed scores of children in need of heart surgery at further jeopardy. He's coming out and saying it. I admire him for publicly making a statement in defense of children's access to medical care and going against whatever it is that the government and the hospital board is preferring.
It sounds like spite.
Meaning the government is being spiteful?
Yeah, because let's track this.
Yeah.
Remember with Shaggy, and we spoke at length about it, and they were saying, use the money to do that. And Shaggy was saying, I can't do that. And I said, but we think it's better to do that. And I'm saying, but come on, if you broke ground for this, move ahead and do it. Because that would deal with an urgent need that we have. You notice a lot of these GoFundMe, this child need to go overseas for this service and thing. And we're saying we can do it right here. And him saying he's not convinced?
Minister, I'm not convinced that patients are being deprived of surgeries because of ward space.
Minister,
Minister don't want, he doesn't want to. He don't want to receive a just reward for that statement.
He's heart, man, heart.
So the headline says heartless.
But you are prioritizing where parents are secondary supporting us, the children who are the primary concern. Because if people need to overnight, you can set up a tent. You know when you go to some of these hotels now, they don't put up a physical structure per se. They have these air conditioned.
It's like being in the desert.
Whatever.
Yes. Well, tent people
yes.
have palaces.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just think out of the box.
Percival, where do you think the government is getting the money from to do the Cornwall regional increased budget?
Us.
Where do you think they're getting it?
From us.
Some of it will come from Bustamante Children's Hospital.
You think so?
But if you have more funds in the Ministry of Health, one thing you know, if you know how budgets work.
Is she from?
Yes, you have to reprioritize. $500 million was earmarked for the cardiac ward.
Yes.
How much more do they need to spend at Cornwall Regional? Where you think
it's like a bottomless pit.
So they have to reorganize and reprioritize and so on and so forth. Some of that is going on. The other construction, and listen, parents being able to be accommodated when their children are in hospital receiving care is a very important issue. It's important for the parents' peace of mind, and it's important for the health and well-being of the children. You don't ever want to be making a choice between one or the other, but that's life. You're always having to reprioritize. So putting in the accommodation for the parents, that's only $120 million. The cardiac ward is $500 million. So which one you think is gonna get hit?
But I'm saying
big one or little one?
No, but what I'm saying to you, just looking on the face of it, if you think that is so important,
the cardiac ward.
No, the
parents.
The parenting. You can erect something. Them have a whole heap of land. You erect something that's a temporary. Because I think
it's already under construction, This what they're saying is that it's 50% complete.
Yeah.
Not complete, I'm just being generous. Only 50% of the construction is completed, and the deadline for completion has been pushed back to next summer. But the promised cardiac ward has been put on hold indefinitely. So they're taking that $500 million that they had earmarked for it, and they're putting it somewhere else. That's what it means.
No, but I'm saying, looking at it, I will start with $2 billion. I will up to $14 billion, if my memory serves me correct, because of decisions that were made, and when people are saying, Doctor, whoever you're doing not advising you properly recall or regional, and 6 years, because remember it was a political thing, when the other gentleman, it was Ferguson, Fitz, whatever was Minister of Health, and then it became a political football. And now years on, when the expert, the technical people say, you know what the thing is, nobody try, just shut it down, start afresh. And in the interim too, we started construction of the child hospital in the Western region too.
Yeah, but the point you're making, they could do that too, because here's what the issue with the ward is. The doctor explains the process. He says before you can have surgery, you need to admit the patient. Then after surgery, the patient need to stay in an ICU. Shaggy's project was to increase the number of beds in the ICU. So there is a need for admission for recovery as well. If there is no ward, the ICU becomes overbooked with patients. And if they can't leave, it means that new patients can't come in. So it is a roadblock. He describes it. You're jammed in there. But you can use the temporary facility that you're talking about as the ward. Let's say they have 150 patients. So the children right now who need surgery are either in other hospitals of the type C and whatever. They're in other hospitals, and wherever they are, they're taking up space too, or they're at home, and the parents are the ones having to sort of keep them alive until they can be accommodated for surgery. But you could make it, you could do a special initiative, set up your ward, bring in your patients, book your doctors from all over the world if that's what you want to do. We have 150 patients who need heart surgery. Between your teaching hospital and your alliances, listen, man, when you want to do things, you find a way. Don't you agree?
Yeah, you're trying to elicit another response from me.
Yes,
leave it alone. I leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm pulling at you.
No, but
what a frustration it must be to work in that system where what you're seeing is just a bottleneck of frustration.
Near the man said, people already frustrated. You short, you just start people saying, I don't have to put up with this. So I'm out of here. It's like a lot of people I know who are saying, no, there seems to be no heart. We are so very intent on putting up these monuments. I'm switching gears. That will missing the heart of why we have these monuments.
Yeah.
I remember my friend who toasted me when I got married a long time ago. He says, we were talking one time, and he said, why do you think governments are so very much intent on doing all of this construction and so on? I said, why? I said, that's where you get the gravy. That's where the gravy comes. And so you see a lot of construction happening, and it's good. And there's good in it, but is it really at the end of it for the people, as you say, or is it really for myself who is putting in these things and I tick it off and say, yeah, one more. But is it really moving your people forward in terms of how they are flourishing? And I get a very strong sense that we're doing all of these things, but the persons who need to be at the center of what we do are getting left out in the process. You've been to Cuba?
Yes, sir.
I've been to Cuba twice. Government to government.
I stopped counting.
Oh, that's great for you. I only got 2 times. But what shocked me was when I went to Cuba, I'm saying, boy, if I was in paint manufacturing, I'd come and set up a factory in Cuba.
Yes.
And I was saying, and then when you go through and you interact and talk with the people, they were very content with
sanguine
with the drab buildings, but the healthcare, the education, the things are working for them.
Priorities.
Yeah, so it goes back to what are priorities and why do you do the things that you do, and thing like, okay, remember recently there was this wonderful thing with the Minister of Health about these renovations and extension to Spanish Town and things that they're doing. You remember that with money from IDB? You don't remember that? There's a big to do about it, man.
No, I remember when we had Dr. Patricia Green on with us, she spoke about getting some foreign money to do renovations in just a place in Spanish Town. Was it a different thing?
No, it's a different thing. It's a totally different thing. But there is, if you check it, there was the minister launching, that's Dr. Tufton, for what
hospital?
There's hospitals, what they're going to be renovating.
Oh, yes. No, I thought you meant infrastructure in Spanish Town generally, not hospital.
Yeah. Infrastructure in Spanish Town need to shift.
So what? We talk plenty and perform little, and it's all smoke and mirrors?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So also on the Gleaner front page Sunday was the story of returning residents having a drawn out dispute with Scotiabank concerning access to monies which she said she needs for medical care. And in typical form, The story having made the news, Scotiabank is saying all the right things, that whatever it is, when their customers suffer, they suffer too.
Really?
Since receiving the complaint, we have been in touch with the customer and sincerely regret the inconvenience caused to her. We take all customer concerns seriously and we are working to provide a resolution for this matter in the shortest possible time. While the customer is saying, my money has been there in limbo and I need to get my foot looked after. I can't even move around, had a stroke and nearly died. When you have $4.9 million in your name and want to do something for $5 million and can't even get it, oh my God, what a wickedness. Me sit down and bawl morning, noon and night like a pauper, like me no have nothing. And this is something that I have worked hard for. This is what the citizen is saying concerning difficulty resolving this issue with the bank. I mention it because the cry for justice, this is how I have it in my head and I make a note of it. The cry for justice is the same whether you're at a high place or you're in a low spot. And when you find that people are having the same issue at different levels, that tells you there is a widespread absolutely. Yeah, and it means it's a national issue. It's something that all of us should take an interest in and be a part of resolving. Yeah, because really, even if she had that struggle going and we had a healthcare system that could have accommodated her needs while she had fight with the bank, because understand that what she's doing with the bank is not, it doesn't affect her access to medical care. That is access to money. But medical care, she should be able to.
Yeah, but it just speaks to the injustice in the system. Remember the banks were a year ago this time when the fees and the thing, remember that has just gone quietly and the fees licking us right, left and center. If you go into your account and see the fees that are charged, you go, whoop, whoa. You add it up.
Yeah.
So you what I try to do is to just do one big thing. So it's just one fee charge on that instead of the multiplicity of things that you do. Yeah, online, some people are with us 8 o'clock.
Yes, I'll say good morning to your sister who has hailed us up and to, Delroy Henry. There are some folks that are always giving us support and we just, without even calling the names, just know we see what you're saying and we love it that you're remaining a part of
advocate. So we call out time for our 8 o'clock break.
All right.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever met. You're simply the best.
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Hello, I'm Emily Thomas with the BBC News. A court in Russia has sentenced one of President Putin's most prominent critics to 25 years imprisonment on charges widely seen as politically motivated. The journalist and opposition activist Vladimir Karamuzar was accused of treason and spreading false information about the Russian armed forces. Our Russia editor Steve Rosenberg is in Moscow.
Vladimir Karamuzar awaited the verdict handcuffed in a bulletproof cage in the courtroom. The judge declared him guilty on all counts, including treason. The sentence, the maximum possible punishment. A few years ago, he'd helped persuade Western governments to impose sanctions on Russian officials for corruption and for human rights violations. And more recently, he'd been outspoken in his criticism of Russia's war in Ukraine. He holds both Russian and UK passports. And today the British government condemned what it called the politically motivated conviction and sentencing of Mr. Karamuzar, believing it to be contrary to Russia's international obligations on human rights.
Fighting is raging for a third day across Sudan as rival generals vie for power. People in the capital Khartoum say there are heavy gun battles and airstrikes in crowded residential neighbourhoods. The United Nations has condemned both sides for failing to stop fighting during an agreed humanitarian pause to evacuate the wounded. Doctors say about 100 civilians have been confirmed dead, although the true number is likely to be higher. A former Sudanese Minister of Foreign Affairs and current member of the civilian government, Mariam Al-Sadiq Al-Mahdi, gave this update from Khartoum.
It's not only a bit of gunfire, it's all over. It is very heavy artillery. I am besieged inside my home where they are bombing all around me. Of course, people are in very bad situation. They are being besieged inside their homes without supplies. We run out of food, of course, while we are fasting the holy month of Ramadan. There is also shortages of water supplies to the homes and electricity as well.
Saudi Arabia is releasing more Yemeni detainees in a unilateral move that follows 3 days of prisoner exchanges between the warring parties in Yemen's conflict. The operation, overseen by the International Committee of the Red Cross, saw around 900 captives reunited with their families amid peace talks between Saudi envoys and Houthi rebels. Iran says it's invited King Salman of Saudi Arabia for an official visit as the two regional rivals move to re-establish diplomatic relations. A foreign ministry spokesman said the president sent the invitation in response to an earlier invitation from the Saudis to visit the kingdom. Both countries are preparing to reopen their diplomatic missions in the next few weeks. Riyadh broke its diplomatic ties with Tehran 7 years ago. BBC News. The authorities in Myanmar have pardoned more than 3,000 prisoners, including nearly 100 foreign citizens. The military leadership did not specify whether anti-government protesters or journalists who covered the coup 2 years ago would be among those released. The UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights in Myanmar, Tom Andrews, says the international community has failed to do more to protect civilians.
And I think it's important for the world to ask itself, why is it that we have failed to respond to this crisis in the way that is required? Why is it that we continue to use tactics that we know are failing the people of Myanmar? I think we need to stop, take a deep breath, and change course before it's too late.
Police in northern India have arrested a soldier in connection with last week's killing of 4 others at a military base in Punjab state. The 4 troops were shot dead in their sleep in barracks at Bhatinda, one of the largest military stations in India. A match-fixing scandal has hit China's most popular sport. 2 teams have been thrown out of this season's Basketball League competition. The Shanghai Sharks and the Jiangsu Dragons were fined more than $700,000, and their head coaches have been banned for at least 3 years. Here's Ben Lowings.
China's Basketball Association announced its investigation last Friday. It was the 3rd and deciding game in the opening round of the league playoffs. The visiting Dragons were leading the Sharks 100 baskets to 96 with less than 2 minutes left in the game. Spectators took to social media to express suspicion and then anger as the Dragons couldn't keep the ball, turning it over to the hosts. Shanghai scored 10 baskets in 100 seconds. When officials announced their punishment, they didn't mention the phrase match fixing, instead saying that they wouldn't tolerate passive playing.
Ben Lowings. That was the latest world news from the BBC in London.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Haggard Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Bess100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call, cause trust me.
Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back to the Morning Connection. Interesting morning we've been having. Justice, we want justice in the medical system.
The cry for justice.
We want justice in this constitutional reform, and we've seen where the government has responded. And you have been saying that Dr. Albert from University of Texas, Austin, that's his thing, comparative constitutional reform. What are your feelings on it, my dear sister? About the gentleman?
Oh, well, I think a committee as important as this one, it is necessary that important stakeholders have a comfort level with those who are appointed to play a major role. And I think when you have voices in civil society coming out so strongly, because they know enough of what the man represents to be uncomfortable with his presence on the committee, I think he should resign. You know how I often look at these things, not from a government perspective, but from a personal. There are many things that happen which we say the government should do this or that. But I don't look at the government. I look at what individuals should do in good conscience, seeking to be in the right position for themselves and for others. So the government has appointed him. They appointed him knowing what he is. I think it is a weak government that every time the people say boo, they are shifting, and it means they didn't give proper thought And so the weakness, when I say weak, I mean they're weak in their knowledge and their assessment of things to make decisions that are credible and which they can defend. If you have made a decision and the people come out and say, oh, no, and you shift it, to me, you're weak. You didn't give sufficient thought. You didn't consult enough. Unless people come out with something that there ain't no way you could ever know it unless people broke confidence and say it. You really ought to cover your bases before you make an appointment. So I have little hope that the government is going to change their appointment. They chose the man. They are presumed to know who he is, what he represents. They were talking up his experience in a technical area. So they obviously felt that whatever is against him is of less importance than the good things that he brings to the table. So they've appointed him. But this man, as a professional, he comes into a country. He's not a son of the soil. He has no connection to us other than contractually, we are apparently going to pay him.
Jamaican.
So he's claiming to be Jamaican?
That's what
he's entitled to be of dual citizenship, but that alone does not give him a place on the committee. I am very Jamaican and I'm not on the committee. And I'm Jamaican and knowledgeable in the area of law.
Mother is Jamaican. But I don't like the Gleaner.
Yes, they're out of favor with you this minute.
But
aside from the Gleaner, you asked me my thought.
Yeah.
We know you don't like what the Gleaner is saying. I have given it a great consideration. But
somebody would say,
I believe the man should resign. I would not enter a country, even if it's my own country, take a position to do something that is sensitive and important, find that because of personal opinions that I have, which I'm not prepared to let go. Suppose he's saying I've repented. He could say, no, Jamaicans, I know you're concerned and I know that this thing, but I don't think that way about it anymore. If it is so, then say it is so and settle people's concerns. But this is too... It's too important for people to be opposed to an individual based on such a specific consideration, and it is ignored. But I don't expect the government to.
We're opening the lines
to disappoint him.
But we're opening the lines.
Yes, that's true. You have me talking. It's the people's time.
Yes, opening the lines.
Shall I repeat the number? 876-619-1508 and 876-279-8473. And right on. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, morning.
Good morning.
Governor. Yes, sir. How are you? How is Bess FM and how the family of Bess FM and my listener who support me?
We are well, sir. We are well. What are you sharing with us this morning? You're the first one across the finish line.
I know it go. No, I just want to say I'm on the road from the other day, so I'm now in Kingston at a secret location when I'm at town, so I may cannot say too much in the mixed getaway I am. Some part in the Dwelling Park here in Kingston. So my friend want to hear, my businessman want to hear me because I and them pull very good. I was living here for years and I'm a top freelance journalist, so they want to know where I am. So I just want to big up everybody and just tell you, say, if I can call you back a little more, I will hit the line. I know when to do. But I'm busy now for this morning. So you people are my morning coffee. The program is Morning Connection, but you people just put icing on the cake, and when they wake up and stress me and stretch, me have to drink the coffee. Big up to all
right, thank you.
All right, Governor.
Thank you, Governor. Have a good day.
Yes. When I can call you back, I'm busy on the street.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
Nice.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome.
The morning coffee.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
How are you?
Good I'm about to have a Kingston.
Oh, so let's hear you.
Yeah, I listen the reason for the girl and the baby.
Yeah.
And let's say the food and the medicine, the main purpose for eating food is to strengthen our body and our structure to provide all the nutrients that the body needs.
Yeah.
That's the main purpose of food. It's not really just to taste and full belly. The main purpose So if a woman pregnant and eat all type of junk food, and packet food, where no time I devitalize food, because she's sick, because her baby is born with certain levels of sickness. You know, so the people them have to educate themselves on food seriously. The food is very serious.
Well, can I tell you, Wayne, there's nothing in the history to this situation which suggests that the mother didn't look after herself during pregnancy. So we're not even going to go there and say anything that might suggest that is her fault, that she didn't give her baby the best fighting chance.
No, but what I'm saying is that it is not her fault in her strength, but in her strength because of ignorance and lack of knowledge. So without lack of knowledge, people them suffer.
So why you suspect that this lady lacked knowledge?
So can be part of her fault because she lack of knowledge. You know, so
I understand what you're saying, you know, but now is but now would not be the time to interrogate a mother on prenatal care, were you eating properly and so on, because babies come out of the toughest situations and survive.
All of that is true, yes. But if you can do better to make it better, why not do better to make it better?
All right, Wayne, we understand.
All right, I got you. But we can't keep the call going because the background noise.
There is something else I want to talk about children. We not never talk on the program about children, you know, but I'm saying now about children.
Yeah.
Let me catch up again.
All right, yes. Because I can tell that where he is. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you both and the team and listeners.
How are you, Mr. Jigsaw?
The health service is semi-comatose.
Why is that?
He made it semi.
In the way it is functioning. All right?
Yeah.
I have a 8-year-old experience with several emergency going back and forward in those places. And worst of all, childbirth.
Okay.
And from what is quoted in the papers, or how it's explained, one, if the doctor should not have discharged that lady,
yes,
we just go get a prescription. At least it should fill the prescription or administer initially what could be done, and at least monitor for a few hours.
Yes, and
determine how you take it from there.
Yes, yeah.
Well, do you understand that was her first pregnancy, or
no? It's her second
pregnancy.
It was her second, but you know, each baby come with their own uniqueness.
I know. I just
couldn't.
I haven't determined that from what I've listened to.
Yes.
But the system is, repeat, comatose. Right?
Well, you said semi.
Yeah.
So at first it was semi.
Yeah, I know. It's not totally,
Yeah.
But it's dysfunctional in lots of areas that you thought sick, but you think simple things can be addressed, and it's not done. All right? And sometimes you have enough staff there, but guess what? If you look on keenly, you see them over getting you're getting even when there's enough staff there at a certain point, you observe them looking at each other. Who to go first?
True enough.
That kind of attitude, I'm in trouble.
It's true. It's so true. It's so true.
It's no joke.
And as I watch and see, because somebody was explaining to me, even the system, what has happened recently with this change in remuneration. Some people drop arms in terms of doctor versus nurses and who must do what they must do. So there are other things that you're not hearing about.
Yeah, which impact the performance.
Which are impacting the performance in the system, yeah.
They're not being motivated on how long it takes to change the manning of the situation to make sure you have adequate staff in particular place, in critical areas.
Yeah, when you read what that other doctor was saying about the priority of where to put money in building infrastructure at Bustamante Children's Hospital, you can also see how demoralized the healthcare workers can be when you watch and see things happening Cornwall Regional, how much money is being spent with the contractors, and at the same time you have children waiting to have heart surgery, and you get the feeling that the hospitality side of the hospital have more priority than the surgical side. And to work in a system like that and have little impact on how decisions are taken, it must be tough on the workers too.
A one-off incident or irregular incident, and you probably overlook that.
Yes.
It's a constant thing.
Yes, when you're there and you see that it is a constant thing. Oh my goodness.
You see how funds are being utilized.
Yeah.
And they're being prioritized.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't give any sort of motivation for those who are facing.
But you know, that is why, Jigsaw, this is a time when citizens have to be speaking out with boldness. Stop taking the same old, and watch the wheel turning and turning. Speak out, speak out, speak out. What is the worst that can happen? You might lose the job that not pay you anything and that not taking you anywhere anyway. I mean, you have to get radical in your thinking and recognize that if as many of you take it by force, you can actually have an impact, because sitting down and taking it, not giving you what you need, not giving the country what we need.
You have to get up, stand up, and speak out.
Yes, yeah. I'm a strong advocate for that.
In terms of Spanish Town, my recommendation would be, let's get a new hospital built in the Portmore here, and then take a load off Spanish Town and try to rehabilitate that.
But you know,
and you're not increasing the service you can do.
Yeah.
Or modernizing the service that you can do.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
Except, of course, you want to make sure that is the right type of hospital, because what's in a name?
You want a type C?
Type C, type this.
Yeah, type
No.
We want it need to be real hospital.
Too much.
What they're doing or what they're saying they're building in Cornwall. All right, Jigsaw, we have another caller on hold. So thank you so much for your contribution.
I'm trying to real secretary. Thank you. Take care.
You too. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Malvern.
Yes.
How you doing?
All right, sir, all right. Not too bad.
Mm-hmm. Good to hear you.
It's good to hear you.
All right, thank you. I am not happy to say my speech, but I find that the fact that the man there, that man,
Professor Albert.
Yes, the fact that he was invited, it simply means to me that they knew and understood
exactly
what
who he was.
Represented.
Yes, I think so too.
Sense.
I think so too.
Sure. And so what that is saying to me is that they have acquiesced. They have agreed to the agenda of that man. They agree with him, and they agree with him, and they desire to see his success, whatever he claims his success to be. Mm-hmm. It is, well, we have been conquered as a society, conquered. Even the churches have been conquered by the agenda.
But would you say that because Malvern is because the churches have raised the thing and have says because they have done their research.
No man, you have to go behind what Malvern is saying. This is about the tolerance and a push to have matters pertaining to the LGBTQ position receive equal prominence, treatment, whatever you might be in civil society. So he's saying even the churches have fallen because Anglican Church allowing homosexual priests. Catholics are embracing this and that. Many other churches are, you just said then, softening their position on it. Isn't that what you're talking about?
But not in Jamaica, because that's why they come out.
We could not survive. We could not survive without intelligence like yours.
Yes. That is true, because it is what you have said, because I know it is called the Jamaican Coalition for Healthy Societies. Mm-hmm. And I know Philippa personally, and I know a lot of the people who are a part of it. And they have hit out, because people don't even know, when they were going to introduce this Bill of Rights, and thank God to the lady who was part of the Lawyers Christian Fellowship. She did her research and says, you are trying to put in something that Canada has gone the way, and we're not going there. And she raised Cain and made her what we call it, her submissions. And because of what she did, that is why it never came true. But they are still trying, and we are under pressure in Malvern from all over the world.
That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I must say.
We're under pressure. But the people in Jamaica on the ground say, no mass. They're not giving up.
I must say, I am a bit surprised that a defender of what is right in that regard was a woman, because usually they agree with it, because what I've seen looking on in the world, I see that the women's movement and the LGBT are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, there is an alignment there.
There's an alignment.
But here's where my position might even diverge a little bit from Pastor Percival's. I have long advocated that the way to address issues of morality is not through law. Anything else you want to do, but don't legislate against this, penalize this, punish that through the use of laws that have to be interpreted and applied, enforced by men. I say teach your child in your home through different social structures on what it is that you want to be the dominant culture in your society. So I don't believe that we should be criminalizing one type of sexual activity over another, because that means man is making moral decisions and choices for others. So that's my personal view. I think criminalizing buggery or actually my view is clear. But so there are two things happening in the world right now. Persons want to take a moral stand against a type of conduct which biblically, historically has always attracted disfavor. And persons want to stop the abuse of others in the exercise of their freedoms. So the two things are finding expression in one move, using the law in a punitive way. One is good. We should stop the abuse of people. But legislating against human immorality is not the way to do it. We have to take our 8:31 break, Malvern, and I want to hear your response to that. So I don't know how we're going to do it. Will you wait for us?
Yes, I'll wait.
Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try and call him, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Bess100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Veg Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veg Printers, your best choice in printing.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, welcome back. Thank you, Malvern, for holding.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. That's a very interesting point you just forwarded. You're saying morality should not be
legislated.
That is, and I suppose, especially in a democracy.
Yes, yeah. Because you're giving some constitutional freedom. So you give me the freedom of religion, of conscience, and you protect me from discrimination based on various things. So your constitution is enshrining these freedoms. But then you're proposing legislation that would penalize, discriminate, subject me to hate and abuse because of things that you say I am free to feel and think and do.
Yes, I see that.
So it's finding the balance. That's what I was saying to Percy.
It's finding the balance, but I'm saying my contention is I hear the point, and she has made some very interesting and important points. But we live in a world that is fallen and broken. And the ideal is to move them back to a place where they are in relationship with God. So everything you do comes out of your heart. So the question is then, what do you do in terms of ensuring that, you're not overrun by certain things? Because, let's see what has happened.
Yes.
Use Canada. Use Canada as a case in point. They have used the law, and those people who live in Canada, because I have a relative sister who live there, who say that what they've done, because some things are so pervasive And if you go counter to that, you are persecuted because you say, but like, okay, they believe that you have all these different genders. We tell there's only two genders, male and female. And a young man was actually put in jail because he was in a Catholic high school. And he said, but something wrong with that bathroom. And it was there that the police came for him and so on. So the question is, where do you find the balance? Where do you find the balance, even with where that has happened, where people are saying, okay, it's no sex in the bathroom, and the girls going and the boys in the bathroom, and them say, but what is he doing in here? Because of the transgender agenda.
Yes.
So that is the challenge that I am finding, because these people, they're pushing it hard, you know.
Yes. So then now we have to come to the conclusion that a balance is impossible to find.
Yes.
Because, like you said,
did you say a balance is impossible or a balance is possible?
No, he said impossible.
Miss, what?
No, I wasn't sure if you said impossible or possible.
Yes, it seems to me it's impossible to find a balance because of that very example in Canada. And I'm sure the same thing is happening in America. How do you find a balance there between
but you see, and why
two sides that are diametrically
opposed? But they're not opposed in reality. They're opposed in perception.
Perception,
not in reality. Because a bathroom.
What about in action?
Well, your perception drives your action. So if you change your perception, your action will follow suit. Case in point, if you have a bathroom, there are many places where it is one bathroom, you know, man, woman, and if you have a dog that you want to do something discreetly, that's where everybody go.
The dog would go to the same bathroom as the people,
no,
you think?
Well, you would take your puppy with you. I see people taking their dogs into the bathroom, into the toilet too. Anyway, I don't want to float a red herring.
Just one question.
Yes.
In Jamaica?
No, in airports is where I see it happening.
Jamaica people are too poor and need to kind of go to that level.
No, we let
maybe they will one day, but I don't know.
We let the dogs fend for themselves. But I'm saying just remember, before we had the luxury of setting up male only, female only bathrooms, which probably came because some abuse took place in one and they decided let's keep them separate. Before that was so, it was the bathroom, not gender specific. They have a toilet and both men and women can use the flush toilet. Or they have the urinal for the men and they have a toilet beside it, because some functions, not all functions, can be done in the urinal. Not so? And persons would go use the bathroom, and if it is depending on the numbers it can accommodate, others wait patiently. So the perception that you need to have differentiated structures for every kind of, it just means that persons need to respect others' privacy and allow them the space to do what they need to do based on what accommodations are there. If you stop feeling like, oh, when I'm in the bathroom, I only need to see a woman beside me, or I only need to see a man beside me, sure, you're going to have a problem.
I think we're going to have a whole program for this thing.
And you're a man.
Sorry?
In the bathroom. You would be comfortable near a man in the bathroom.
Well, it depends on what he's doing, and it is for me to mind my business, my own business. But you see, if you think about the gender differences, I wouldn't normally be beside a man doing whatever I am doing unless we're at the sink washing hands. And I'm fine with that.
Sure, we're not talking about sure. Everybody,
yes. So it's really how you look at privacy issues and how careful you are in how you govern yourself. So another question arises. I never once had any concern about an adult taking a small child into a bathroom of whatever gender. It never crossed my mind.
I never had a concern with that.
Until recently, when I hear of the things that happen and this one flashing to that one, I said, but I wouldn't even want my husband to take my young child into the male bathroom. Given what
because of heart, what has happened to heart?
So human behavior changing and the heart of man becoming so different towards various things. So, you watching, your perception shift, you become paranoid or you become exceptionally careful in certain areas because of what is happening out there. So I saying to Percy, there really is no shortcut. He's saying, what if we become overrun in short while? There is no shortcut to the patient work of retraining the hearts of people into being more loving, more patient, more respectful, more honorable. No shortcut.
But
I stopped thinking, absent divine intervention, which miraculously stops somebody from desiring drugs and desiring to do crime or whatever. Absent that, we have to do the patient work of teaching our children, sharing with each other, demonstrating, living it, being love in action. There are no shortcuts.
Yes, so you're saying allow the liberty that human beings have, allow the freedom that human beings have, even though we know that, look at the reality of the American society and look at Canada, what happened to that young boy who believed in his heart that there is a male and a female, and they're saying, no, do not think that way.
But you see, my brother, I wouldn't even say allow, because there's no allowing it. It exists. It is it is
that's
here.
Why you have to have laws.
So
I suppose that's why laws because
all right. You're there.
That freedom is well, again, it has proven itself. It can be destructive.
It can be destructive. So you always have to be saying, all right, what are the things I can legislate? What are the other structures I need to have in place functioning well to control the things I can't legislate? Because your counselor in school or your parent might be able to stop you from doing a thing, which the law can't. You don't even read the law.
So it is it is
all hands on deck here.
I can see why, at the end of the day, it is God who has to return.
Intervene.
It is His way.
There's no solution to man's.
Not by ourselves. Not
to man's concerns and problems. There's no solution. Man cannot find it. It's just a constant war. So
and that's what we're in now.
Necessary.
And that's what we're in now.
For God to come back.
We're in a war, Malvern. We're in a war.
What is right?
We're in a war. We're in a war.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yes, it's a war.
Yeah.
And those who choose to love God are gonna lose that war until He returns.
All right.
Well, we just have to keep fighting until He returns because He delivers the victory. All right, Malvern, we got to run. I just got the signal that someone else is waiting patiently.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Good morning. Oh, thank you for holding and waiting for us.
Morning. Thanks for holding, my brother.
Person. Yeah, morning to the Bess FM crew. All right. We'll just go through a few things, but I have a very important. Well, I have a little problem here, but my question is, who appoint the committee to deal with the Constitution? Who appoint the committee?
Government.
Yeah.
Government.
Obviously, the Prime Minister, the head of the government.
Yes.
So, question now, Minett and Percival. Them say out of many. One Jamaican, right?
All right.
I don't see anybody from Rima, Tival in our jungle. Furthermore, I don't see any Rasta there. And I'm not talking about people's status, but I know when I see somebody look like me or a grassroots person. Explain that to me now, Minett.
You take a shot at it, Percy.
Because you are thinking somebody that represents us, but there are people on that committee who have come from grassroots and by education and so on sit where they are.
Pastor.
So I know, but we are saying, but the question is, okay, we have long advocated that committee is not the end of what our constitution. That's why we are saying we need to be on the road hearing what the people are saying. Because a constitution is not, as we say, in a simple matter. It needs to be simple that everybody can understand it. But in terms of the ramifications and the parameters and the boundaries that it's set for how we replace each other, you have to have people of specialist knowledge in order to deal with it. So you are saying you should have a Rastaman. You probably have some Rastamen or lawyers and things who probably should be there to represent in their view. But I think a lot of the things that the Rastaman them believe, we believe too. What do you think?
Pastor, let me tell you something. Let me tell you my philosophy to life, where God come and demonstrate to us.
Okay.
When God will walk in this earth, I don't get the impression God will behaving like the people and we have money must get better treatment than the poor. I am simply saying, Pastor, we're talking about out of many understand the poor. Okay? Out of many one people.
So what I hear you saying is the point that we have made that the committee have too much lawyers on it. And it is not representative of...
I don't want all over the place. I don't go as a boy and I look at Beverly's and Cherry and Reddy's. I just see the clothes. Enough of these people coming from nowhere and reach up there and them don't business about the rest of people. And we have so much shirt. I am saying, well, good for the goose, good for the gander. That is my point. Okay. A lot of these people in our world, I notice politicians will have sense and amount of power. And when I power, then I understand. I am talking about who is the vanguard of the poor people and will live in a squalor. And I go through hardship. I go to a guy called me, a man somewhere, big guy. And the police are push the 50-year-old man. Constable, Davis, push the man out of government. And as the guy said, I'm going to do it to a white man at China. We want. Well, go for the white man, go for the black man. I want the black man to be all right. I want the white man to be all right. I want the holy and the child to be all right. I am a people person.
Well, let me ask you a question, my brother. Do you think that the behavior in terms of how you deal black and black or white and black is a result of the color of somebody's skin or what is in the person's heart?
It's a result of the color. It is a result of the color.
The color of the person's skin?
It's a result of the color, and then it's the narrative coming out of me. It's a result of the color, I'm not accent.
Okay, all right.
Obviously, you have to react to something where you see, right?
But that goes deeper, you know, instead of, because there is something that is called self-hate. You ever consider that?
Pastor, even the same police, even the same police, it's like them not no respect for them color, so them see with 90% of the black people as nobody. Even the police, them in an accent. All right, now I come from church yesterday, I'm going to drop some friend half a tree, but drop half a tree, I'm going to drive, come on to the track. The thing black off, all right? The thing black off. Now I drive a Bluebird, it wasn't my favorite car. The thing black off, then a man come up in a Pajero, now Prada. Then I am getting the impression he's a big soup or my empty. And the constable go up to him argument and see who's the soup come. Then let him. But through the car, I drive, say taxi. Anyway, I go there and say, really, and I start going. So I'm telling you, if you are black off somewhere, I'm saying to the constable, why don't put a sign down there, say detour, when I wait till I come around and then I create a car. So tell me about, it's a status thing. I have a body, most people have to the back of the head, Pastor Minett, that once you're black, you are nobody. And the embassy that treat us like that. The government place that treat us, I mean, I ask them a road person.
Yeah, but I think Pastor Percival was saying, okay, so they responded to the car, but it's not because they look at the car and say only black people drive that car. It is the heart of the individual making the assessment towards others that would cause him to react one way as opposed to another way. Because, you know, we are always trying to point the attention to what's in the heart of those who are serving or even those who are receiving service, because maybe you don't know the identity of the person driving the big vehicle. You've made some assumptions, but those assumptions come out of your own, prejudices and reality.
Well, it's when they did wind down, you can't wind down the window and I saw what color he is, but I'm saying I told I was presuming he was a superintendent or MP.
Yeah, but so do you agree though?
I was turning back and him still drive up there must obviously have some power, knowing that he's going to get you and still go up to the barrier.
But you know,
but these are all assumptions that you made based on how you feel about different things. Suppose if you had felt differently, you would have come to different conclusions. So the heart of man is very much operative in all of these discussions and decisions, and you know where we want to see things go.
So, Minett, what do you mean by the heart? Overcome. What do you mean by the heart of me?
The heart is made up of your mind. Hold on now.
Yes,
your heart is made up of your mind, your will, and your emotions. When we talk about the heart of man. So an important part of your mind is your perception of situations that happen to you. And so I say to myself, and in terms of how I deal with my children, I instruct them, your mind, your perception is important in terms of any situation. To the young men that I mentor, I always say, what is your perception of the situation? How do you respond? Because how you respond in a situation is what you think of yourself. And Mr. Minett keeps saying that all the time. So you try to put me in a box in a lot of ways. And I said, no, you're not going to put me there.
Not that box.
Not that box. And I've had to respond in a lot of situations to people like that. So when I'm saying your heart,
that's what we mean.
That's what we mean. The mind, your perceptions of situation.
And your heart you're in the configuration of your perception now. You make room enough for history and your knowledge base. What do I know about the world? What do I know about recent events, past events, what I think will happen in the future? And you are weaving that into the formation of your opinion. So in your situation now, you see the car, it looked like this is a man of some, you may make an assumption, but you said, listen, I am equally entitled. I am going up to that line. And whether you get a yes or a no, the person with whom you interact will know what you really think, because you'll tell them. You won't be afraid to say, listen, you guys have done a bad thing setting it up this way. I can't turn back, or I need to be whatever you want. You ask for it. And don't be distracted by what color the person is, whatever. Find a common ground to address issues that don't involve anger and disrespect.
I have to still look at the issue, because Pastor, I am a person that travels a lot, and I try to understand the culture of human beings, whether black, white, Chinese, rich and poor. And I at least satisfied with the look like I say. I'm simply saying my concept to life, my philosophy to life and human being is that if a white man does something wrong and a black man does something wrong, he will go through to suffer the same consequence if there's justification. My simple thing is that from 1962, I forget, let's talk about the 80s. I don't see black people in this country deal with fairly. The land problem, black people. Sleeping on the road, black people. People suffering, black people. People crying, black people.
That is true.
That is true.
That is true. The first thing is black people need to reject it, don't accept it, push against it, do everything in their power to reverse it. That's what I do. You're going to have to kill me. I got to take another call though, my brother, because someone else is holding.
All right.
No, I was holding long. I have a point with 50.
Well, make the other point that you have. Don't mind me. Make the other point.
Okay. And Gleaner, April 12th.
Yes.
Jackson press Jamaica Council Force and answered murder at ex-attorney home.
We spoke about it.
Can be manufactured. I am simply saying no. I saw some things. I know of people. Black people again, murder commit people run up and gone.
Yes.
We're in agreement today about that. Yes.
Multiple stop, Pastor. This is I get multiple stop plus a gunshot today.
But remember, my brother, as you're saying that, the lawyer in whose house the body was found is a black man. The man whose body, the deceased person, black people. So this is not a racial issue. And it's really where we're trying to make sure that people rightly appreciate that some things that are happening happen in spite of black people being involved. And so you have to look at it and address it in the right way. I share exactly your feeling on it in this moment, because Mr. Fitzbailey is saying they don't manufacture evidence. We have seen many cases where it appears that that is exactly what they did.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So, yes.
But yet still we have Bell Right Chuck out there. I tell police are talk about system of people being going to get locked up for anti-tickets. They're going to lock up poor Jamaican people, put them with hardcore criminals. But yet still, look at the country, Bell Right Chuck, we're looking out at all the policemen them went up to Royal Reed and dealt with the situation. Bell Right Chuck, as an attorney, minister of whatever, talking about how you deal with them friends. But yes, them don't lick out and talk about how you deal with poor Jamaican people.
Right, that is why we know there is a crisis in the administration of justice.
In the thing. All right, my brother, we have another caller. Yeah, man, thanks. Good.
We have to start now, man.
We have started.
Yeah, man.
Speak it into being. Good morning and thank you for holding. Welcome.
Morning, Your Highness, Pastor.
Good morning.
I'm the king in the background.
Yeah, man.
Very interesting topic. We know the richest man in the world is an associate of this movement. And well, it's implied, I must say, I don't know her personally, but what I've seen implies that. And it makes the point that's where the money, the hardcore money, is driven by the pressure upon the society and the world. That these are the people who have what most people live for, which is a mighty dollar. So we now being pressured to acknowledge these affairs, which I agree with you in terms of the legislation. But one of the issues I'm having is that the bubble law is more than homosexual argument or gender issue. It's about a man also taking my calf or my cow or my goat. Now, when you don't apply such law, then you're telling me that the man has the right to come and take my pig or my goat or my cow and do him want to do. So
you mean they were talking about bestiality?
Yes.
That's my
but that is a specific activity that is identifiable and differentiated from what human beings do together.
I hear you, man, but I'm still making the point that once you get rid of the buggery law, full stop, that may show outside.
No, but that's not necessarily so. No, that is not necessarily so. And I don't believe anyone is advocating that the rights of animals and the abuse of men and the abuse of animals are conjoined. You can't allow one without the other or deal with one without dealing with the other.
But that's just men, because women do it with dogs. So. But I don't want to make it look like me have an agenda.
No.
But that once you get rid of the buggery law, full stop, you are throwing out my right to protect my property.
But I'm saying that is not true. That's not true as a matter of law. It's not true as a matter of fact. No one is associating the two in the way that you are.
Well, what is the buggery law consist of?
In law, you draft your provisions to address whatever activity is the focus of your attention. The fact that you draft it this way at a time when you lump everything together does not mean that when you amend the law, you're going to do it in the same fashion. And no one is, okay. That's just the point I'm making.
I say that you are implying on behalf of the legal fraternity. You're not going to address that.
I'm not implying it. That's how legal drafting is done. There are rules that address this. You have to define what you're...
I hear you, but I'm not sure. I'm only hearing everybody on one side of the fence speaking about gays and all that.
They talk about people, human beings.
Yeah, but something.
All right, could you? I hate to do this to you, but it's 9:01 and we have the signal for.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I ever
Bess FM-100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is your radio pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Bess100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program, The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in the Lord.
He's coming back.
Yes, indeed, it's redemption time with Apostle Clive Campbell, presenting a life-changing, life-challenging message to encourage, inspire, and motivate you towards your destiny. Every Tuesday night from 9:30 p.m. until 12:30 a.m. and on Saturday from 9 o'clock until 10, right here on Bess100 FM. It's redemption time.
I'm standing for a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Bess100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back to the caller on hold. Thank you so much for your patience. All right, let's go again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
What a suggestion I'd like to make on here is that once the legal fraternity decides, the lawmakers I'm talking of now, decide to use whatsoever aspect of the law, they need to be very clear. I am talking about the dog and the goat.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
That's it. Very clear to the public, because as the pastor was indicating to the gentleman about why the man from with the Arnett Gardens are not qualified enough to come and help to make these decisions.
Right.
To make the point that with a whole host and level of different people like myself who will hear this and maybe not hear everything, but again, once you say about the law, it makes a point to me. Be very clear what aspects we're talking about, so we can focus the agenda about that. Now, since it's curtailed to this whole new movement of a set of people who want to be called transgenders, the bathroom issue and all the other issues that we are facing is very simple, We just have a transgender bathroom, and then we have to say male and female, because we acknowledge male and female already, which is standard. And then we want to acknowledge transgender, and then have a transgender bathroom. So all our transgender male, transgender female, or whatever they want to be, can go in that bathroom. but don't go in the male or female bathroom.
Of course.
The irony is that they call themselves male and female.
Yes, but here's the issue, and why we always, I know you're chuckling already, the one of the reasons why we always come back to the heart. If you think you're a woman and you see male, female, transgender, you're gone in the woman bathroom. You don't see yourself as transgender. You're a woman. And if you think you're a man, you're gone in the male bathroom because that's what you think you are.
That's I agree with you, and that shows the major problem we are facing now, because it is beyond a psychological issue. Because if you say you're transgender, notice the argument of Parliament. Once is a discrimination against them. They are saying that we are transgenders. Am I correct?
Yes, but they're explaining transgender in the argument. If you're looking at it now as, the opposing sides, the word transgender just defines how you came to be the gender that you accept to be determinative. That's right. So that's the process. Right. But
that's why we should have a bathroom separate for those who no accept what they say they are. So you want to call it disabled and chop off your hand and say disabled. Well, have a disabled bathroom to them.
Yeah.
It makes a point, how ridiculous we're going to go and we're going to get as to continue being ridiculous.
Well, let me tell you, when I went to a Russian place and the word that was on the door was unknown to me, and I went into the bathroom. It turns out they had. It turns out. So and the bathroom was quite fit for purpose. So I'm telling you, we are the ones making a mess of this thing by hardwiring our thought process one way or another. When I want to use the bathroom, me no care if it have a rooster on the door or a hen. I use the bathroom, and I must tell you, I have never been abused. Sometimes the men might say, "Why are you over here?" Because there's never a line at the male bathroom. There's always a line where the females are. I think that alone will eventually turn some people off wanting to be considered women. You can't get into a female bathroom.
You might just talk your time back. The female bathroom tend to be.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have more female bathrooms. Because there's no question that female maybe actually is thicker than the male. Well, you might need a whole man bathroom.
I think that is a good one.
And I'm quite sure to the point we are making. We can become so ridiculous.
Yes.
It's so basic.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah.
Control yourself. Yes is yes and no is no. And know what you're about. Yeah, and you may be right.
And just be patient.
You can the bathroom and have a problem.
Yeah. Just be patient and respectful of others. Because I stood at a place and I saw a lady in the line in great distress, and I said to her, "The men's room is empty." She was very grateful. Because she zip into the men's room, I guard the door, and I let a man know a lady is inside, so neither of them have an unpleasant surprise, and that's it.
That's the problem, you see, you just name it now. That's the problem we are lacking. We don't have this brotherhood or sisterhood.
Yeah,
nobody looks out for the other. We just about the sensational thing. Notice how when somebody gets shot or whatever.
Yeah, the cameras.
Videoing, then try to say, we can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody's just trying to video and post.
And post.
It's like a business, a sensational business that we have created in among our mentality. And I think it's very sad that we have lost that.
The heart of compassion, man.
And decency, yeah.
I know that I still call it basic.
Yep.
That should be something that is standard among all the creation.
Yeah, just instinctive. I mean, even animals we see will go and help another one in distress.
But I only look at the emphasis we place on animals more than human beings, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah, I somebody wrote a paper about, in the paper, that the dogs, the security dogs got lunch and the man didn't.
The dogs.
Yeah, they brought lunch for the dogs and nothing for the human being. I owe Mr. Wignall for that one because it's so true. I can see that easily.
I think they're going to make the point that he was ill and his lunch was given to him. If we look at it, the dog can't say, it's lunchtime.
Or the dog can say, "Me I go shop with here. Me soon come back."
You know?
Yeah, but at least you recognize that the dog can't do something. Then when we recognize that our brother and sister can't do something, we don't step up, man.
And that is so important. That is so important. I think that is the root of it, you know. We keep talking about heart, people's heart towards one another, and it has become cold. Because really just business about ourselves and not about our fellow man. Yeah. And we always get back to it. Fear of God, beginning of a whole heap of things in us, but we've lost that, so we see the result on behavior and actions. Somebody online is talking about the whole thing of how we treat with each other, that we are getting into the whole thing of rights and transgender and so on, and some basic things that we need to do, which is to how do we deal with conflict resolution and the like. Yeah. So it's so important.
Yeah, but we have to do more, and everybody need to get involved.
Yeah, everybody.
My last suggestion, you see?
Yes.
Illiteracy, unemployment, and you keep your private, you keep your affairs at your yard. You're coming up public with it. So, like sexual harassment, don't try to approach me because you're just like a man and I'm a woman. Don't try to approach me. And these are things I'm saying. Keep your privacy or your private personal issues or life to yourself and your gate. That's a lot of things need to pass. And this whole argument about transgender and all them argument, none to do with the public life. It not impact me, it will impact you.
All right, sir.
All right. So thanks for calling.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Love. Love.
Yes.
Your Majesty, love.
Your Majesty to Your Majesty, love.
We are in a minute. I saw it's an article. I think I sent it to you about what's happening with the new political imperialism that's happening in the world. Good morning, caller. Welcome. How are you?
Good morning.
Yes, George. How are you?
By God.
By George,
we should say. Things really getting out of hand, man.
Why you say that, George?
From the Friday until now, there's even a little quiet country like a place down in Chudley in Manchester.
You mean the shootout?
Yes. No, Sam, they need to do something drastic, no, man. This is kind of, no, man, this is not, this not nice at all. Them look a quiet country, you could have go pick a coconut and dig yam and sit down and with the family and come out now. Those places full up at hoodlums. It's not nice.
So
you
what do you
stand where you're there, they are torn, you have to just stay where you're there.
Let me ask you a question, George. All right. So the crime and violence has taken over our country. The basic lack of the rule of law has become widespread. Our young people don't see the need for the rule of law in a lot of things. What is your suggestion? How are we going to fix it? Because Minett made a very important point this morning, and I hope you hear what she's saying.
Yeah.
We have to be willing to do the basic hard work in our families, in our education, that's going to bring a turnaround. Everybody wants quick results, but where we are now, is not something that just happened,
Yeah, but this is going from 1930 to 1940, 1960, 1970, 1980 to 2023.
No, but what?
You understand me? What I'm saying to you now? You can teach your children, grow them up in the right way.
Right.
And what they are seeing is what they are influenced by.
True.
If a child growing up on your cost bad, you gonna cost it up.
Okay.
You understand me? And you try your best. So what in your yard you're teaching your children to say the right thing? When them go to school, is a different thing. Them all learn the same,
So yours?
And the road what they are here, Right, that is why your child, doesn't matter how ignorant they get, what I mean, you must still hug them and say, I love you. Okay. But don't start to disrespect them and say you hate her, you favor, you fupa, you don't do those things. Still do what you have to do.
But at this time, what I'm seeing here, this is a trend. There's something, an atmosphere is not right. And this thing is escalating. For instance, my uncle used to work at Brother Lodge.
Yes.
And he used to chop cane. Get up at 3 o'clock. And him chop cane and tell him back then. You understand me? And not even a house him not get, you know. So me know, as a grandson know, you think me I go get up and go chop cane?
No, because I don't have a good example to follow.
You understand me? So these are things. What about criminals now? Who are wanted and them are children now? What them children going to learn? No, tell me now. You that and you have your son and your grandson. What them are going? What example he's going to set to them?
Alright. So that is where you are saying that is in the family, but you're saying more so.
What is the family first? Is the family?
The family is first.
My mother. My mother is the first teacher for me.
Right.
My mother is the first teacher because she take me out and she breastfeed me and she's able to channel my energy. But you do all you do there in the yard, in the family. But when you go out on the road, I'm going to the school, I'm going to the college and all different places, this is where other things start to hard on to you. And you start to teach them to reject those things.
Okay.
But forcibly something happen.
So
they're drawn to this.
All right, but George, so what I hear you saying is that you have to do it at 2 levels. Family and within the wider society in terms of implementation of consequences and rules for behavior that is not considered right according to the societal values. That's what you're saying. So that's why you're saying that we need to do something. So who must do it? Is it the government or it is us as a people who will begin to reject a lot of these things that we see happening?
All right. Let me go back again. The Minister of National Security, he get paid. The police get paid. The Prime Minister get paid to run this country properly and make it in this country. Me and you is one voice crying in the wilderness, crying for peace and trying to talk to as much kids that you can, because where I'm over there selling my roots, you know, I just talk to a lot of kids and talk to them and teach them. Sometimes I see them a fight and I part them and I talk with them, and they eventually found out that, you know, what I said to them is true.
Okay.
I was on the bus coming in town and a guy, the conductor, him say, last time I said, what going on, you know? Boy, you save me, you know. You know what you tell me leave out the badness. A doctor, I bust me around, you know.
Okay, so you are saying, but that is a good thing, George. And more of us have to be doing it, because I think what has happened, we just left it up to and everybody. So you are a good role model for the people out there. So we have to continue that we're doing, but you are saying the government must do what they need to do.
Yes, because if you have to take, just sometimes, every time they say state of emergency, it's them I give up my rights, just for them to do what they have to do. But after a while, it's gone back. So it go right back to zero. You understand me? So, it looks very sticky right now. And the church, and they know them are pressure the church that the church was do more. What more the church can do? The church has been here a long time and praying for people and drawing people towards God. And they are the politicians now. All they believe in is just election and vote and don't business about people's life. Okay. You understand me? So we have to keep doing what we're doing. That's all we need to do. But let us hope.
No,
it's only day of Noah, so it shall be now, because now we are dealing with that different generation.
Yeah,
dealing with that generation of vipers.
I hear that, but
when a man fight, a man have a disagreement, you don't draw a fist and fight.
Yes.
A man disagree with you, he says soon come. He come back with a gun. He now fight and wrestle like when we sit at school. He come with a gun and come with a weapon. That means it's a different generation. You are dealing with a generation of vipers now, where you can't reason. You see, you as an individual, you cannot argue with a mob, you know. Them say some of the people go to the person pass here, so. and you are walk come now. Them go kill you innocent. Now you have to explain to them. They just want to kill somebody because it's about 500 or 600 of them, and you're alone. You say, "But I come from Swansea and I'm just passing here, going," and them just want to take a revenge and take it out on somebody.
Yeah.
So these are the things that we have to do. That means every time we come out with us pray, we ask God to protect and guide, and make us go away, and protection and guide, and we come back in. That is just what we need to do. Okay. And to teach other people that when they leave your house, just pray and ask God to go with you, and you go and come. But the government have
a responsibility. Yeah.
Huh?
But we are the government. I'm not saying government alone, but there are things that we can do on the ground, and I hear you doing it. But I just figure that more people need to be doing it because it becomes a groundswell. But John, thanks for calling, because we just have to do the right things, and we have to teach them our culture, our children. Yeah. Right? Yeah, man.
Miss Minett.
Miss Minett had to step out. She have something important to go do. So that's
okay, all right.
So she.
And hold on there. What if we're going? You talk about the bathroom thing with the male and the female.
Yes, right.
I was in the bathroom, go use the bathroom, woman just rush come in and say, "Sorry, sir. I'm inside the bathroom now."
Yeah, but that's all. But she have an emergency.
No, I didn't send me to stand up there free. That she just, you're a good young man. And she just, so she don't want to urine long time and I'm just gone.
Yeah.
I never have a problem with that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's an
emergency.
When you want urine, it's a very terrible thing.
That's an emergency. That's an emergency.
State of emergency. You're a very good young man. It's a yes, ma'am.
State of emergency. That's an emergency. But when it become regular thing, that is the challenge that our people face, because it as she pointed out what she did and how it sorted itself out. But in some places, it becomes standard that now we have cases where people have been abused. People say,
sure.
So it's unfortunate, because again it go back to the heart. But we teach our children the right culture and we see where we take it from there. All right, John. Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Good morning, caller. Thanks for calling. How are you?
Blessings and good day to you and yours.
Yes, sir. What's up today?
Yeah, on the topic of legislation morality.
Legislating morality. What are you thinking?
Yes, I'm thinking that the arrangement of that phase is wrong, or phrase is wrong. It should be whether or not one should legislate immorality.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right. Tell me something. If I'm permitted.
Right, I'm listening. Go ahead, make your point.
I want to read something from the scripture in Daniel.
All right. Well,
this is a prophetic revelation, and it says, Revelation 7:25. And it says, remember he, and he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
And shall think to change, this is the point, and shall think to change times and laws.
Mm-hmm.
And they shall be given into his hand.
Mm-hmm.
The same he, in verse 1. And they shall be given, mean times, laws, the saints shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. That's a prophetic timeline.
So what you're saying is that what we're seeing is prophecy happening, so we can't change it. We can't do anything to change it. Is that what? That's your position?
Words, yes, it has to run its course.
And after it run its course, what happened?
Yes, it have to run its course. We might be frustrated. We want to change, but it have to run its course until it's over, because there's a time appointed.
Okay.
All right. Can I ask the pastor, who's the he there?
I don't know. You telling me. You are making up points. I'm listening.
All right. The he there is described as the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom that came from this 10 horn in earlier on in the chapter.
Okay. So you are saying that
a representative of that beast went into continental Africa recently, and in Uganda there's a legislation they want to make it into a law that anyone who commits Exodus.
No, but okay, you're talking about. Oh, wait. You're talking about recently the visit of the vice president into Africa, Uganda, Kenya.
So,
and they wanted, and they were saying to them that some of the laws is not against what human rights is. So they were, and the people rejected it because the people said in their thing this is not acceptable. All right?
In the context, and they are right, according to scripture, in the context of Romans 13, being the sword, because no, there's no power except that is appointed by the Lord. And also, we are to respect that power. So, the great beasts, as in Daniel 7, should respect those persons' laws.
Okay.
And don't try to tell them to be diverted, because is it Exodus, not Exodus rather, Leviticus 20 and verse 13. All right.
So what you're saying is two things, Your points are, it's inevitable, there's not that we can do, and that you are saying that the point that my co-host was making, that you really can't legislate morality. It has to be something of people's heart. That's what she was making, But you are disagreeing with that point.
Yes, I'm disagreeing with the point.
All right, that's okay.
Because laws can be legislated.
Right.
Even morality can be legislated. Because, for instance, you could say it shouldn't be legislated by man, but God has legislated such laws already.
So the higher law is God's law or man's law? We have another caller still, Is it God's law or man's law? Which is a higher one, in your opinion? I'm asking you now.
Always is God's law must be always higher, at all times. It is the supreme. It's the constitution by which mankind should abide by.
Okay.
God's law. And I'm speaking specifically because there is 613 laws given to the children of Israel. And man in their different nation of people in their constitution has enacted some of the moral law, which is found in Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 to 17.
And they have not done other ones.
Thou shalt not remember the Sabbath. They have enacted it in some jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, that like thou shalt not kill, and thou shalt not commit adultery. In certain Islamic country, you can't commit adultery to receive the punishment as is written in the scripture.
All right, so we're up on the break, but just summarize. So you are saying to us that your point is that you can legislate morality based on it. All right, thanks. All right, we're up on the 9:30 break.
I'm not sure as yet,
But we're on the 9:30 break, so we're taking the break. All right.
I just want to make another point.
No, but somebody else is waiting, so we'll take a break. If you want to call back. Good. Yeah, man. Good.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi star?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
Bess100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show with Lascelles Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing worth in our maturing years, compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all. You can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minett and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Bess100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for holding. What's your say? Good morning, caller. Morning, caller. Thank you for holding.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Ross. Oh, what's up?
Yeah, man. You see, the problem is this, you know, we keep complaining, but you're the big problem in this country. The head of the stream, from the head of the stream dirty, is nowhere the bottom of the stream. I go clean. You understand me, Pastor?
Yeah.
So, if, for instance, when you come dealing with role model, they must have something model or finance. So, you see, for instance, we have even some politicians that can't even declare the massive. And
yeah, that is a troubling point. And we wonder what is happening. So, you really don't have a credibility. It's a credibility issue.
Yeah, and when we ask the soldier and we ask the police to declare the massacre, because they have to declare the massacre. You know that?
Everybody right? Work in the public service.
Everybody working in the public service.
And earn
right?
about a certain level of money. The doctors, lawyers, the nurses, them have to fulfill it. I know because somebody close to me has had to fill it out and send it back to the Integrity Commission, and them find out about me too. So how that work out?
Yeah. So what kind of country we are run? When who are run the country now declare the matter? You tell me now. Eh? So there's nothing we can look at if you have your constitution or your house in a pass, because me attack it on a level where people can understand. Constitution is law where deal with your house. You set your constitution in your house and you say, boy, yeah, man. At this moment, carry out now with your kids, them, you have 4 or 5 kids.
So them understand how the rules go, yeah.
Yeah. And when them look now, them see you keep on break the constitution and you are do things and this is when you're gone, the place turn upside down, you know.
Yeah, because I'm going to say, Daddy, how you tell me to do that and you not do it?
You not do it. You understand? So me and you could have grew with kids the best. But it's when them go to the work sector and when them go to the world now and see what go on. Them say, boy, I hear me. Me I work for little and nothing and way. Me I work for little and nothing and me I try abide. And look, me now I reach now and the people them when me see it. So it's a thing where when you look on the whole thing now, the thing get corrupt in a way. Jamaica corrupt in a way that corruption becomes a norm, you know. It's just like how if you notice all of the robbery them we are going on, or some big robbery, some $1 million robbery, and
And it becomes a norm now, just like how murder becomes a norm. Extortion becomes a norm. The power. The edge of the stream, tainted.
Mm-hmm. So Ras Paul, what you're saying, do you think if there was a change in terms of governance and leaders across the board in terms of living by the principles of truth and transparency and so on, you'd get a shift in the culture? Is that what you're saying?
You must get a shift in the culture. Mm-hmm. You see, all right. Lee Kuan Yew from Jamaica, right? I'm by a book named Marcus Garvey, right?
The teachings of Marcus, yeah.
Yeah, and read it. And go back to Singapore and instill some laws outside, right? This when him go back to Singapore, when him go back, he may say a minister.
It's something corrupt. Yeah, we know, and he went to prison. Yeah.
Gone with some businessman. Gone on a trip with some businessman. It's when the minister come back, Lee Kuan Yew fired him, charge him, and prison him because he must set an example. Say, look here, if you are go with that businessman there, any business with that businessman there do, right? Or any benefit or so, other businessman they will get it over the other businessman then.
So it was a corrupt activity. So what you're saying, people should lead by example. All right. You have another point? Because we're coming up to the break, so I want to get in one or two more calls. To the close of the program, I should say.
Oh, you have to close the program. All right.
Yeah. So if you want to make another point quick, you want to give another caller a chance, because we're about to close. All right.
All right. Let me just make a quick point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? Where, I like the war for real stop. I look like the war about stop. I look like Putin. I'll put a stop to it,
Mm-hmm.
But, as I tell you, Pastor, if we don't get this constitution thing right there, man, it's not, Jamaica not going nowhere. We have to have laws where we can them people with laws, we take care of them corrupt politicians. If we don't get that right, Jamaica not going nowhere.
And that people the common man can identify with. Good point, Rasta.
Yeah, man.
Blessings. Good.
Yeah, better, yeah.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my brother, my sisters. How you doing?
Good morning, Miss Elaine. How are you? What's on your mind?
Oh, my Lord. Listen, I up on the phone the other day and I wait for leave my number and nobody come back to me.
All right, so make sure you leave it this point so we can get. But what you saying today? Because we're coming towards the end of the program. So what's on your mind?
I went to my call and did I tell them, say, Biden, I say American for try to get their money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, say a big thing. Enough people are fight against America and them dollar now.
You mean around the world? You mean China and Russia and Saudi Arabia and everybody?
And even Africa too.
Okay.
Them tired of the dollar. Them said them don't know why them have to pay that dollars and all them kind of things there.
So you're saying there's a shift in terms of international economic system? Because the dollar was the standard. Okay.
Yes, man, a big thing I want.
Well.
But you really understand it that much?
Mm-hmm.
Those are kind of get the bits and pieces.
There's something that's called the BRICS countries. It's called the BRIC countries. Brazil, Russia, India, and China. And they are seeking to set up an alternate economic system, clearing system, instead of using the dollar, using another system in terms of you clear and you change, international commerce and things. So there's a move on. And some people have said, international commentators have said that the war in Russia and Ukraine has speeded that adoption of that system. So we'll see what happens. You have another point? Yeah.
Yes. My regular point when I always make, listen, I need some voice. Me alone cannot do it. we need some voice. Them say we have much mad people in Jamaica. We are tired. It was suit and
too much mad people in that house.
And jacket too.
Yes.
And it's a lot of crazy people, right?
Yes.
So Mr. Wallace now think, man. You see, if him change from Parliament from the park.
Yes.
It's better for the people. Because the people them could have some of them can go sit down and breeze out, watch them grandkids are play and all of them play now.
So you're saying, Miss Elaine, that idea, if it is implemented, would have greater impact in terms of the society below Crossroads than him could ever imagine.
Yeah, if this park here, when me imagine,
yes,
and somebody can come say yes. Yo, this are the biggest park because there is no other park like this going to be in the world.
Okay.
Because wow, we have all of the them inside of the park. You understand what I say?
All right.
Where the kids can go in there, learn,
relax and do other things, and people can come and walk and play relaxation and distress themselves.
Some of them look at spring. The kids, some of them look at spring and slide. You understand what I say? And we are going to have shops right on the side.
Okay.
You understand? And we can, the part that can be one of the big thing.
For the redevelopment of downtown.
Yes, you understand what I say? I need, what's your name? Professor, what's your name? All right.
Siobhan.
Very separate voice, more ear, Cooper voice, more near Nadine Spence voice, Miss Minett, I think me leave you out in Percy.
Okay.
All right.
I'm pushing the idea. All right, Miss Elaine, thanks.
For real, but we need a park for the people, man, the old people, man, and what, everybody.
Okay. All right, Miss
You understand? We need some swimming pool in there. We need road tree swimming pool. We need a diving pool where the kids them can learn. The kids them are going to run and down everything. You understand? We need yes to them. We don't make nothing for the kids them long as the kids them are doing this. And we now make no preparation for them.
All right, Miss Elaine.
You understand? Even the park, them when me see them a build up. Me not see them put not even one swing for the kids them. And what kind of park them there? Not even one swing. Emancipation Park, not even one swing, not slide. A monkey bar for the kids them who come to run up and down pan grass.
All right. So, Miss Elaine, but let me just, as you go up, because we're closing. So what you're saying is that not only where you are, but across Jamaica, you should have development of parks for recreation, probably in every capital, every place that people can go and recreate and enjoy and de-stress.
We can start right here, and we start right here. You have all the tourists them are come, Kingston and more open up.
The tourist destination. All right, then, Miss Elaine. All right, then. Blessings. Thanks for calling.
I'm from the east side. Listen, you see on the east side of the park and the west side of the park. We want to put 2 hotels over there, so we have a lot of guests.
Right.
And even we want some 20-storage hotel. That means we can go up on the top. We don't have to go uptown. Look on downtown and uptown.
All right, Miss Elaine.
We can right downtown and sit down and see the whole place.
We're taking another call. All right, then, blessings. Thanks for the vision that you have. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the Morning Connection. How are you today? Morning, caller. How are you today? Okay. As we wrap up the program for today, let me just take that call. Good morning, caller. Morning, caller. Morning. How are you?
Pastor.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Pastor.
I'm hearing you, my brother. How are you?
Slate.
Hello? Good morning. Turn off the radio.
We
Miss Minett.
All right, my friend, talk quick. I will closing the program. What's up?
How is talking to me?
This is Pastor. Miss Minett not here. What's up? Talk no, man. You have about a minute to go. Tell us your point.
Pastor. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I want to talk to Miss Minett.
Yeah, Miss Minett not here. Miss Minett had to go out. Had to leave early. She had an appointment. What's up?
I want to talk to Miss Minett.
All right, but Miss Minett not here today. You can call her back and talk to her tomorrow. All right?
Yeah, I have a problem, and I want to put it to Miss Minett, and I put it to him last week. And I say, I forget get his phone number from the producer, and I can leave my phone number.
You left your phone number last week for her? You left your phone number?
Yeah?
Did you leave your phone number?
Yeah.
All right, but leave it with the operator again, cause we're closing the program. So don't hang up. He's gonna take your number from you. All right? Okay? We're gonna take your number. We're gonna take your number again, my friend. All right? Wow, that caller was trying to get you. Was telling him to hold on so we can get his number. But it's been a very interesting morning that we've had on the Morning Connection. Miss Elaine, Madman, dress up in her clean clothes. If the producer, the operator can find that song, that was a good song to close out us today. But we've been talking about the health system and what we need to do. The headline yesterday was Heartless, and we were just reflecting on what's happening at the Bustamante Children's Hospital again. A change again in terms of the policy. There was to build a heart ward for the children. They've shifted it to an overnight facility for parents. A consultant has come out and says he thinks that's heartless. That was the headline. But then we heard about what happened in Black River in terms of that lady and her baby and how that was dealt with. And the question that we ask ourselves, somebody called and says, boy, the health system is comatose. What are we doing such that we can get a health system that is working for our people, where you don't have to go out to get some basic services done? We know of some hospitals that if the doctor said do an x-ray, they don't have it in-house. You have to go outside to get it done, and that can take forever. And if you don't have money, it becomes even greater in the Gideon for you. The Constitutional Committee has belatedly appointed one more person to the committee. One of the stakeholders has come out and questioned the co-chair, which is this gentleman who says that he has Jamaican roots. His mom is Jamaican, but they are saying, based on things that he has said previously, they're wondering if he's suitable. My co-host has said, if she were he, she would resign with immediate effect, because already, if you have so much controversy about yourself on this committee, people are gonna say, we started in the wrong vein. So just say to the gentleman, we are asking you to reconsider your position. Again, it's highlighted the pressures that are being brought to bear on our system of justice here in terms of how do we deal with the buggery law. I think we need to probably in the future further speak about it, further ventilate the views as to, can you really legislate morality? Some people are saying you should for the wider good. Some people are saying no. We are saying that it really begins with a change in your heart. position. Because if you teach people right, then some of the behavior that you're seeking to control with laws and so on will not even be considered, because the person have a right heart in regards to the matter. What say you? So we come back again tomorrow with the morning connection with Minett, Lawrence, and Percival Palmer. And we go out with these two songs, which again ask a question. One that Bushman has for us, if we're going to change that. And the other one is, in terms of our leaders, are they doing right according to us? Stay tuned, stay good, have a good day, have a good week. This is your co-host, Percival Palmer, signing out for today, the 16th day of April, as we begin a new week.
We can make a change. We can make a change. Come together. Whoa, yeah. If we don't change up the valley, then we rearrange the system. We're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys, then we rearrange the system. We're always gonna be, the victim. My heavens declare Rastafari glory. Haile Selassie manifests his life. Well, now I shall tell of my story, 'cause this story has been lies, yeah. Contradicting themselves in every illustration, and they make believe in a world of confusion. Now I just see that they are not real, 'cause the truths have been revealed. And if we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, well, we're always gonna be, the victim. Got to make a change. Make a change. Treating our people like they are garbage, and through loss of vanity, we never seek to acknowledge to the weak and the feeble. You took advantage to give yourself that tolerance, because you think we're underprivileged. Now it's time for us to reinforce ourselves. Who's gonna do it for us? None but ourselves. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system, well, we're always gonna be, the victim. If we don't change up the valleys and rearrange the system,
know blood a go run. Oh, why so much corruption taking over the land? Why's up the juggling of the poor man when we know the politicians don't give a damn? Why promote the negative and chef the positive and left to get the youth without food and jobs to live? I be mad people in a clean clothes. The things that they are doing are so wrong, only God knows. Madman in a clean clothes. Oh, open your eyes, it's time to be wise. Mad people in a clean clothes. When you think it should be better, it's only getting worse. Madman in a clean clothes. Oh, now is the time, no bother with the crime. If you think so bad, you set up for only certain man. Cause some in a necktie are there so them belong. Cause the money mama earn